accordingly in the, I believe it was the quarterfinals. So for C9, yeah, they got vengeance against the Slimy Boogerman, but I think the opposition hasn't really given them a lot of good tournament practice. That's not to discredit the Slimy Boogerman or Equinox, but that TSM just had it a little bit rougher moving into this semifinal.
I'm not going to lie to you, Simo. Part of me wants the Slimy Boogerman to get signed. They're insanely talented, so I want somebody to pick them up anyway, but just so I can stop saying Slimy Boogerman on an official broadcast. CLOUD9 comes out the gate swinging. They're able to take care of 2. TSM down to 3 members left, and 2 of them have half health. CLOUD9 look like they're going to be able to get onto A. They already have somebody there. Shinobi with 1 health is going to be able to get the spike down. Wardell's going to get flashed off instantly as they fight to retake the site.
Wardell just crouching, doing the crab walk on the heaven side. He does see a player there, spots the cape, but does not spot Vice down below, and just like that, you blink and you miss it. CLOUD9 win the pistol with 2 members remaining. One of the things that I have to highlight is that CLOUD9 have been running the same comp the entire tournament. The same comp. Relics on the Raze, Vice on the Breach, Shinobi on the Omen, Tens on the Jet, Mitch on the Killjoy. It has been the same. There's been a little bit of a shuffle from TSM from map to map. Sometimes you might see Phoenix, sometimes you might see the Killjoy come out from Cutler. You're seeing a little bit of more variety from TSM. I really want to know what is the thought process behind CLOUD9's just sticking to one comp. And we'll see it here. We'll see if it works out. We'll see if they're able to best TSM here in this series. And if the one comp wonder really does work out here in the open qualifier.
CLOUD9 does have a 76.6% win rate on the attacking side on Ascent. They're good here, folks. They're really freaking good here. Can TSM respond? Can TSM hold up? CLOUD9 is going to have... They're going to have a couple of guns to boot after winning that initial round. It looks like they're also being very intentional about picking up a couple of ultimate orbs, invest that into the later rounds. CLOUD9, it's early, but they look good so far.
Looking at the other map statistics here for CLOUD9, it's the defense where they really tend to suffer. So this is a great opportunity for them to really kick it into overdrive on the attack. They obviously have forced up here for the second round, but Wardell, he's doing the crouch spam. He's ready for the shorty, and he's not ready to go to the club just yet. We're now seeing the push in. Shinobi's going to find one, but Wardell, he's waiting on the opposite side, just like that. Blink and you miss it. He'll be taken down to 2 final members here for TSM. It should be looking like round 1 here for CLOUD9.
30 seconds left.
Maybe deal a little damage just like that. The burst out of the classic from Hayes taking care of Tens, but you assume, given what's going on, the CLOUD9 should be able to take this round away. They invested into the Bulldog on round 2. It's paying off. That bad boy bites, and she hurts. Hayes is going to go a bit more aggressively here with the Bulldog of his own, but Relics takes care of that 1v1. CLOUD9 win the expected round as they find themselves up 2-0.
Those are some smooth moves from Relics there. In a round like that, your goal is at minimum to take out 3 players from CLOUD9. They managed to take out 2, and that is relatively standard on that second round conversion. The economy is not going to be horrible or not in a little bit of a tougher spot. We're seeing actually 3 assault rifles move into the round here for CLOUD9. This is a heavy investment. If they can take down TSM here on that 3rd round, they're going to convert heavy into the rounds to follow.
Now, I mentioned earlier how good CLOUD9 is on the attacking side. TSM is pretty freaking good on the defense on this map as well, 71.8%. They're also 4-0 on this map. So these guys are no slouches by any means. Again, the removing of Haven from this best of 3 really kind of forced both of these squads into a situation where it's just going to be good against good, right? Like, this is your good map, this is my good map too. We're going to stand toe-to-toe and see, quite frankly, who's just better.
CLOUD9 playing it a little bit slower this time around, gathering the information first. Trying to use that turret as a little bit of a shield as well. Now going to be backing away, middle quite open here for TSM, and in fact, incredibly passive play towards the B side. They've got both the Sentinel and the Initiator over there, Sova and the Cypher, just gathering intel where they can. So far, TSM still a little concerned where the spike might be headed. A site is heavily stacked, and CLOUD9 may not even want to head over there as they're setting up for this
30 seconds left.
And it's interesting to see that they don't have any of that cheeky wallbang play out of TSM either. It looks like they've smoked off, they being CLOUD9, excuse me, have smoked off entrances onto B. and you assume that that's where they were going to go, but Timo, they actually pulled off. They're not going that way at all. They're heading towards A, and Wardell's ready for it. He's able to get one, Drone gets one as well, as members of CLOUD9 begin to drop. But there are only 8 seconds left. They've got to get on the site, they've got to get the spike, and they've got to do it now!
Oh, that's so unfortunate. Caught with the knives out, and TSM will hold fast. You saw Cloud9 was trying to do a couple of cheeky plays. Relics pushing up from the B side. Turret takes out Sabrosa. That's going to be clipped, shipped over to Reddit, over to Coach Myth for analysis. Break that down for us. How did that turret fall apart? How did Sabrosa fall apart? But nevertheless, Cloud9, a couple of cheeky plays, a couple of late round rotations. The calling there from Shinobi. TSM were ready. The heavy stack towards the A site really did prove to be the punch there that TSM needed to get that 3rd round.
Cloud9 is going to be coming in with some rifles, but also a pistol and a Spectre as well. They're not going to have full artillery here. And it looks like there is not going to be any monkey business this time around, as it looks like they're trying to make a push over onto B. Additionally, Killjoy has dropped the alarm bot just outside of that B lobby, I guess, platform, whatever you want to call that, just to make sure there's nobody rotating around. So it looks like they've committed to this.
Oh my goodness.
But freaking TSM is just mowing them down through the smokes. It's already 2 kills where Cloud9 has been taken out, and they haven't even stepped foot on the site. They haven't seen anybody, Simo.
Yeah, very well done. Sabrosa gonna cap that one off as well. Down to 2 final players. A heavy investment this round. You can see some of the assault rifles were in the hand of Cloud9, but now it may be the better idea to save the weaponry moving into that 4th round. It's not looking so good, at least for the moment. They do have Mitch and Relics still alive, still interested, still poking through. While the rest of TSM, pretty comfortable. They don't really have a whole lot to worry about. Cyber Cage is going to make matters even worse here for Cloud9.
30 seconds left.
Should be the round win. Minus a couple of potential heroics here from Cloud9 that could take a couple of TSM members out, but I don't really presume that's happening. They're all low on HP. You're now seeing TSM push to the courtyard. Pretty good hold here from TSM, and they're still looking, they're still hunting in classic TSM fashion.
Yeah, Drone and Cutler
10 seconds left.
trying to get in on the action a bit. Both members of Cloud9 are all the way back in their spawn, huddled up, trying to stay alive, trying to buy time. Ever important that they stay alive. Relics is able to get one as a parting gift. A consolation, if you will. But TSM is able to win the round, and they're able to take care of those last 2 kills. Simo, you mentioned how important it was that Cloud9 invested that round. That did not look good at the end.
Yeah, and now this is going to be a great opportunity for TSM to convert that economy back into their side. Cloud9 started off hot, but this is now TSM's field to play. Cloud9, this composition has been so interesting to me. It's been consistently run time and time again, and for TSM, they're very comfortable with kind of shaking things up, considering we've seen, you know, IGL swaps consistently on this TSM roster. This seems to be pretty good iteration of the team. Cutler calling for TSM this time around. And on the Sova, off of the Cypher, something that I think a lot of teams could benefit from: 2 things. A strong Jet and a strong Sova. Finding that information, using the Owl Drone, Hunter's Fury doing some damage. We saw the amazing play from Hiko on the Sova throughout the tournament. Unfortunately, it was not to be for 100 Thieves, but now Cutler on it. Also showcasing a lot of that great Sova play throughout the series as well, and throughout the open qualifiers to boot.
Folks, it looks like we are in a bit of a technical pause. We'll get back into action as soon as we possibly can, and if we get any explanation as to what's going on, we will let you know as well. But for now, knotted up 2-2 in this opening map of this best of 3. It's going to be guns across the board for Team Solo Mid, and for Cloud9, not nearly as impressive, not nearly as dense of a punch that they're going to be packing, as you see a couple of Stingers, a couple of Sheriffs as well. We're getting back into the action. This is a less than ideal round for Cloud9 here. They don't have the firepower to match TSM.
I still think that it's also interesting to see that they're very comfortable with pushing their economy to the max. The fact that they've invested into Stingers and light armor, they're willing to really bring the issue. Now Tense is going to upgrade. That is not who you want in the hands of a Phantom. Haze is going to be able to at least spray through the smoke and convert onto a trade. Now the 4v4 retake here for TSM. CLOUD9 going to get that spike down. And ultimately on this eco, that's all they wanted. If they can get a couple of frags to boot, they are going to want that. And so far, it is really panning out here for CLOUD9.
Certainly more than worst case scenario so far for CLOUD9. Again, ideally you get a pick, maybe you get the spike down, whatever, you cut your losses, but so far things are sitting pretty for CLOUD9. It's going to drop down to a 3v3. Wardell and the rest of TSM trying to push through, but Tens, who else? But Tens already 3 on the round. It looks like the spike is going to go off, folks, as it continues to tick away. CLOUD9 robbed TSM blind out of a situation that really shouldn't have gone their way.
I mean, it's the tens factor. It's something that I don't even need to tell you that he has the highest KD on the team. I don't even need to tell you that he has the highest kills per round in the tournament. I don't need to tell you he's got the highest first kills per round in the tournament. That is all kind of, it just goes without saying that Tens is that dude for CLOUD9. He's that guy. But on the opposite side, TSM also have that guy. Wardell not really lighting up quite yet, but Sabrosa definitely has been able to pack a serious punch around here. Now one for CLOUD9. A little bit of a thrifty going into their hands. Definitely have to feel really happy about the way they executed on that B side.
Yeah, but I love how disciplined TSM was at the end of that round. Yeah, they gave up the round, they lost it, they weren't able to execute, but they got every single exit frag on the way out. And while CLOUD9 can still buy, they can still bring full here, if they lose this round, they're broke.
Like I said before, very comfortable with stretching the economy thin. Here for CLOUD9, very comfortable with pushing the extreme. TSM, a lot of ultimates on the table here. They definitely will be looking to commit them if they want to secure the round. Heavier stack towards the A site once again. It seems like teams are very uncomfortable, or certain ones at least, uncomfortable with the A site retake. For TSM, very comfortable with the B site retake. The consistent passive play. We'll see if CLOUD9 get conditioned to it, but so far, their intention to hit this A site has been quite clear. And with the Rolling Thunder, sorry, they're looking for a couple of picks. Don't find anything that they're flashed on the wayside as well.
Yeah, that Rolling Thunder was huge to dissuade CLOUD9 from investing over onto A. You saw them stacked up and they were considering it, but that Rolling Thunder pushed them back and is going to force them over onto B. You hear the Bladestorm has been used as well from Tens. Wardell still has that op, and while they pushed them away off of A, they have not fully rotated. They have not fully invested. CLOUD9 is going to invest all of their resources. However, over onto B, you hear the lockdown has been used from the Killjoy as they try to establish some semblance of control over onto B site. The problem is, TSM can sit on the outside of that ult and still deal damage. CLOUD9 has already lost one. Once again, it's going to be a late spike plan as TSM has to fight for the retake.
Whoa, Wardell from range goes vertical. One more final time, one updraft left in the tank. He's going to find Vice. Now it's the 5v3. CLOUD9 in a very tough spot. Relics is at least going to make it even. Shinobi will participate in that as well. Now it's down to one more frag if he can find it.
I know
the conversion
exactly
would have been very helpful. TSM now in the lead. Now with the man advantage. Shinobi able to nullify it. It's down to Cutler. And somehow, some way, CLOUD9 staved TSM off from their own site.
Man, that updraft peak was absolutely insane. But again, CLOUD9 were able to hold fast. They were able to hunker down and take care of the kills, able to take care of TSM. Shinobi with a huge multi-kill there. Oftentimes across Reddit and Twitter, there are people who dog on Shinobi and his performances and how he might be the weak link for CLOUD9. He held up there. He did great. 5-3-2 on the round so far, so he's having a great early start. Additionally, as the IGL, he does a lot of the dirty work for CLOUD9, so
wow,
it's a good start for him, but man, TSM, they're just so good. Subrosa with an important opening pick there.
Great support there. Hayes was starting to get run down, but the fact that TSM were able to hold off that push through the entry point there. Tens and Wardell consistently playing the vertical matchups, getting as high as possible in Valorant and finding success with it as well. Tens was standing there on that breakable ledge with the panels there that you can obviously destroy and shoot through. So for TSM, they find an early pick. They may be looking at another one here as Shinobi's about to get caught with the support there from Sabrosa. Almost sprays him down, but he's going to manage to escape. And now CLOUD9 setting up this A-side push with a little bit more of a passive setup here from TSM as they're watching the defender spawn like a hawk.
Yeah, I love how aggressive TSM played that. They claimed that area of the map. They claimed room, and once again, forces Cloud9 into different situations, into different places. They aren't allowed to be as flexible with where they take the spike as they would like. Now, once again, we find ourselves in a situation where there are only 30 seconds left. Cloud9 still not gotten the spike down. They've got to bust the move. Wardell is able to take care of Tens. Jet on Jet in favor of Wardell. This time, Cloud9 is just down to 2 members left as TSM continue to look to hunt down the members of Cloud9. The spike is over on B, but there's the Hunter's Fury. Mitch is able to take care of one, but Wardell once again leaves Cloud9 in shambles. The spike's going to go down. Oh my gosh, the health bar of Wardell goes down as well, but Drone, excuse me, trades it out. The spike's going to be defused. TSM closed the gap.
Listen, I get it. That was a kerfuffle of a round. That was a mixed bag of emotions, a roller coaster tycoon all the way through. But in that scenario, if there's anyone I want in a clutch position, it's Vice. He has the most clutch wins throughout this open qualifier on the team. 8 out of 30. Next best is Tens, 5 out of 20. I believe that makes Vice the better clutcher there for Cloud9. But he was flashed. He was flashed, and the fact that he's even still able to get Wardell is impressive. TSM do not want to be losing additional weapons, considering the economy. But look on the flip side, Cloud9's also really starting to be starved, and this is a blow-for-blow matchup. TSM and Cloud9 really proving that they are the heavyweight champs, moving into the potential close qualifier in the weeks to come.
Simo, you should know better at this point than to try to do math on broadcast. Like that never works out for any caster. You should know better. TSM starting to invest a lot of their resources over onto B because it looks like that's where Cloud9 wants to go, but TSM's not going to have the numbers yet.
Wow. Nice use of utility there, clearing out back of that site there, but Hayes is holding fast. They do have participation from the rest of the team. Now going to start to funnel over from the A side. Still not concerned or convinced that it's going to be a B side hit, but it's been pretty consistent for Cloud9. And we talk about how passive TSM plays towards that B side. Cloud9 tried to hit the A side, but it didn't really work. They've tried and tried and tried, and it didn't really work. The fact that Cloud9 have been able to make a dent thus far, TSM may be a little hesitant, but no, they're going to commit to this B-side retake. It's the 4v3, TSM down a member, but it might not matter when you've got Wardell in the mix. He's going to find Tens. That's the Jet down. Another Jet still lives. Wardell brings it down to a 3v3 as the spike ticks. Pressure gets intense. TSM needs to get involved. Wardell, he's going to be stopped here by the aftershock. Cloud9 are willing to dive on the site. Now as he jumps in, he's going to get shot down. Blind Shinobi down to one final player. He needs to defuse, but that's going to be a swing for Relics. He finds them all. He finds the ace. That's Cloud9. Bring us another round.
Talk about a freaking roller coaster of emotions on that last round. Let's talk about this round. It easily could have gone. There were a couple of instances in which the round was. I was sitting there watching and thinking, all right, this is TSM's round. Like, this is fine. Cloud9's not going to be able to pull it off. And then it swaps, and Cloud9's in firm control. And then at the end, just down to Relics. Relics in a 1v2, hunkered down, like in a situation where really everybody plays that spot when they're trying to defend the site, and from there to get the spray transfer to get the kills. That was absolutely nuts by Cloud9. What a play by Relics.
Definitely keep the rounds alive here for Cloud9. TSM on an eco. We've definitely seen some thrifty rounds today, and definitely in the open qualifier as well. I don't think TSM are going to be any slouches. This is still going to be a hard-fought victory here for Cloud9. The weapons can still be heavy in the hands of TSM. We're seeing that exact fact. Sabrosa with the Sheriff. Wardell has popped the Blade Storm, so this has to be a good down here for Cloud9. As they push in, Drone going to find another. Hayes with the third. As I said it, Cloud9 are falling apart on the eco, down to 2 final members, Mitch and Tens. We'll see how they can get the job done. The spike's still not planted. 50 seconds left on the clock.
If TSM is able to pull this off, this will be a response. Cloud9's thrifty when that time, a couple of rounds ago, and that's exactly what they do. The blades out of Wardell slice and dice Cloud9 to pieces as they're able to win that round, bring the gap closer and closer. Now just down to 1. Still a lead for Cloud9, but a slim lead nonetheless. And Simo, they've got nothing to work with here. They're just going to be bringing pistols.
We have 3 rounds remaining in this half, and if we look at the loss bonus, has been reset for 4 rounds in a row. Both teams are hurting in their own respective ways. TSM are sitting a little bit prettier, sitting a little bit better, but considering we've got 3 rounds left, how many gun rounds can CLOUD9 pull out on the opposite side? How many gun rounds can TSM pull out? We'll have to answer that question later, as Wardell's like, you're going to have nothing to do this round. We're going to get the ult orb, we're going to take out 2 of your members, and we're going to look incredibly amazing doing it as well.
What an aggressive look at a TSM. We haven't seen something quite like that yet, Simo, where they just fully invest and rush aggressively into a site, and it pays off. CLOUD9, again, with not a ton of guns to work with,
Enemy kill.
find themselves down as far as personnel goes. They do still have the Blade Storm, they do still have the Showstopper, but, well, now the Blade Storm's out of commission. They have that ultimate, but surely you don't want to use it in a situation like this.
See what they end up picking up. Hayes is going to be the first contact point here for TSM, but he's just holding on, trying to survive. There's a lot of flashes on the side. Frenzy going to do some damage on Hayes, but it's just down to Relics. And unfortunately, the ace last time not going to be the case this time, as TSM tie us up 5-5. 2 rounds remaining of regulation in the half, and CLOUD9 going to force up here. Not going to have a whole lot to work with in the round to follow. So this round definitely counts. TSM could put themselves up at 7-5 moving into the attack.
I don't think I've ever seen a round where a Cloud after, or excuse me, a team, CLOUD9, after buying is, they're all down to 0 credits. They have fully invested, and that's the thing, Simo, and you were alluding to this earlier, they lose this round, they're going to be on nothing the next round. They're not going to have anything to work with. Furthermore, CLOUD9 does have a couple of ults to their disposal, right? They have the Showstopper, the Blade Storm, they have the Lockdown, and they have the From the Shadows, so they have some options, but this is a heavy investment going into the second half.
A lot of ultimates available. You'd imagine CLOUD9 are going to want to use them here. Color, unfortunately, caught with his pants down. Tens is going to take him down. Wardell waiting in a very cheeky position. We saw Caboose last time really be an impact player from the wine cellar. He's going to do exactly that this time around. Tens is going to get involved. Updraft goes up. He does have the Blade Storm available if he wants to use it. Unfortunately, not going to, as Wardell's stuck in a little bit of a tough position. The flash is ready. This is how you deal. Instead, it's the fault line. Holy smokes, Wardell's got to run. He did not anticipate that. He's going to be taken down by Tens. Now 3v2 still doable for TSM, but the spike's planted, and a retake has to come.
Spike planted.
CLOUD9 just showed us the ideal way to deal with an operator, right? Like, throw CC at him, force him off of that power position, and then take care of him. And that's exactly what CLOUD9 did. Because of that, they're able to get the spike down. They find themselves at a numbers advantage. TSM are going to be coming from the same spot too, and they know where they are. Sabrosa gets taken out. Tens is going to get a shot at it, but they're just buying time. Tens with a 4K on the round. TSM gets taken out. They invested. It was a big ask, but they pulled it off.
Round in the hash.
Yeah, this isn't going to be a very difficult round for TSM to invest in. They still have tons of credits to work with. I'm still very interested in seeing the fact that there was a little bit of a late operator purchase from Wardell. But when we consider the bigger picture, there was a lot of back and forth. The loss bonus was reset 4 times in the middle there. So it can be a little difficult to string some of that together and get an operator. So this is going to be another round here for Wardell on the op. An aggressive look towards the courtyard, but only Mitch is going to be in that area. If they had pushed in towards that same A main aggression, they might have found a little bit more success.
Again, the round to close out the half. CLOUD9 has shown to be formidable on the attacking side, as it looks like they're going to try to work their way over onto A. There's the lockdown. We saw this play before, Simo. Can they get onto the site? Can they create enough room with the ultimate and with the guns they have at their disposal to get the spike down?
Oh, Tens is going to push in aggressively. The door gets closed. I find that very interesting from TSM, willing to play the retake, and boy, will they. Look at the TSM players starting to zero in on the position. They're coming from the catwalk, they're coming from A main, they're coming from all possible angles. The spike's been planted, so TSM need to hurry up. They can't stall this push any longer. They need to get back in onto the site. As Sabrosa takes down the door, doesn't have enough bullets to transfer. Tens is ready and waiting for him. And now it's down to 3 players here for TSM. CLOUD9 are more than comfortable with dying on the site here, as this is the last round of regulation. There's no weapons to save, there's nothing to be left. It all goes down to this half. Relic's going to shoot in that showstopper. Can't find anybody. They're preparing now for the push. Drone's gonna find one. Drone's gonna find two. It's looking great. Mit's gonna find a second. Wardell's up above, and they clutch things out. They turn it all the way back around. TSM tie us up 6-6.
Hazed was such a nuisance. While that spike was planted, he had been coming in from the attacking side, and that forced two members of CLOUD9 to pull back, right? Like, it forced them to, we gotta respect that. We've gotta look at that. Let's take a look at the replays from the first half presented by our friends over at Go Puff. It was a dicey half, really, for both of these squads, Simo. A heavyweight fight between these two squads, and this has delivered 1000%. The tail of the tape has stood up.
This is not a half I anticipated. CLOUD9 have definitely kept things competitive, but it is in their defense that they find a little bit of a weaker percentage, boasting a 76% win rate on the attack for Ascent, but it drops down to 69, magical number 69 on the defense. For
nice.
TSM, they're pretty evenly footed on both the defense and the attack, so this is actually going to be a half that favors TSM. But of course, every team plays different. Every team is going to react different. We'll see, of course, how the rounds unfold by themselves. But statistically looking into this one, this should be a way for TSM to at least find an early lead.
Once again, Wardell with the Jet is going to dash and be the first one on to the B site, as members of CLOUD9 are hunkered down, trying to get some sort of room, trying to establish some sort of presence, as they are able to get two. The color trades one back out. Relics is still alive. TSM's just down to one, and it's a bloody disaster. TSM gets taken out. CLOUD9 a convincing pistol round win.
Oh, they just really held on there. TSM didn't really have a lot to work with there, as they had just pushed in. There was a lot of utility already set up there from CLOUD9. Probably too much to count. They just threw everything to stop the push. And in an instance like that, you can either pull back and try again on a different site. But TSM were like, yeah, we're just gonna get in there. I think Mitch was a big problem there. As he was able to hold down a very interesting position as TSM started to push in. But it was a good call there for CLOUD9 to pull off all of their resources and funnel it on that B site. Now it's a great opportunity for them to convert on a second round here.
Oh, baby. Ladies and gentlemen, you saw it there. Tens with the judge. We'll see if he's able to deliver any sweet highlights off that gun. TSM on the attacking side. They have lost the pistol round, so they're not going to have a ton to work with here. Oh, no. No way. My gosh, you can't write this stuff. You can't make this stuff up. Shinobi's able to get one, and Tens with the judge. The anvil drops, and the sentence has been delivered, but the sheriff puts him behind bars. Wardell is able to take him out. What a response from TSM.
Yeah, this is a round that you don't want to lose too many members from CLOUD9. And TSM have proven that they are not only thrifty, but well-equipped on these ecos. There are no slouches when it comes to any weapon you give them. They have all the tools of the trade, and they're ready to bring out that arsenal whenever, however. TSM looking for a late round push towards the A site. They're going to go all towards A main and not take the ult orb. That would give away their position. They may look for it at the end there, and now CLOUD9 might have a little bit of a better idea.
30 seconds
that ult
left.
orb. With 30 seconds left on the clock, it's pretty telling. I think this might be the A site hit. Fault line comes through. It doesn't tag Shinobi. It does tag Relics, but he's able to at least survive for the time being. Now the door closes. This is going to be an opportunity for Relics to come in. Sprays down two. One more player remains. Of course, it's Wardell. He does not miss. But now CLOUD9 really do miss the rest of their team. They're going to be looking for the retake to try to take Wardell down.
He's got a sheriff, and he's not going to have it for long. Vice takes him out with the Spectre. The spike's going to be defused. CLOUD9 are going to take a 2-round lead. They win the pistol, the ever-important pistol, and they win the round to follow. And we're able to take 2 Spectres into the following round.
This is supposed to be where TSM heat up, but unfortunately... oh, sorry, yeah, it is. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong colors there. CLOUD9, economically tough. TSM, economically strong. This is the round where TSM should be looking to... The colors confuse me because TSM is on the defense, but they're not. They're on the attack. It just got a little confusing for a second. But TSM on the attack, this is the round where they really start to heat up. They are way better on the attack than the defense. And this should be, yeah, you lose the pistol, yeah, you lose the round conversion, but now there's no more excuses.
Slow start from TSM here in this round. You see a good bit of utility invested from Hazed. over towards the entry into A. So you imagine that given that setup there, they're looking to invest either onto B or in through mid. They are going to get smoked off. TSM is, as they considered getting onto B, but again, the smokes that were there are certainly making them delay. Oh no, FaZe decides to go rest, and Shinobi's going to be able to swing. He's going to be able to take him out with the Spectre. CLOUD9, personnel advantage.
Shinobi's going to clear a lot of that utility as well, but it's really just useless utility. There's nobody there. They're going to be pushing on towards this B site. So CLOUD9 are going to be forced into the retake, but pay attention to the positioning of Sabrosa. He's going to be hanging out in the pizza shop, hoping to find some success, but unfortunately he's pinched like an Oreo sandwich. He's the cream in the center, looking to try to take out some of the cookies on the outside. He cannot. Shinobi taken down to 3 here for TSM. Weapons upgraded as well for CLOUD9. TSM do not want to be in this position. Wardell smoked off, so he's got to be a little bit more careful, but he's going to develop a little bit of a Venn diagram on the ground of smoke, trying to find some success. He does momentarily. Shinobi will be the one that falls, but FaZe, Mitch, and Tens will dispatch the rest of TSM, and a 3-round lead start here on the second half. Things are not looking good for TSM and what we expected to be a little bit more of a better show.
Yeah, certainly not the ideal start for TSM, and if you're CLOUD9, this is exactly what you wanted, right? You were able to get an early lead, you're going to take a ton of money going into the next rounds, and TSM, they don't have a ton to work with here. So you conventional wisdom, again, says that CLOUD9's going to be up another round at the end of this, but the equalizer, as always, is going to be the Blade Storm in the hands of Wardell. We've seen time and time again, Simo. You and I have casted many a match where a Blade Storm, just one Blade Storm off of one player in an eco round, flips it on its head, and it goes absolutely sideways. So we'll see if Wardell is able to replicate some of that here.
This is another great opportunity as well for CLOUD9. Considering TSM weren't able to convert on that gun round, this could be a 10-6 start for CLOUD9, and that is not something TSM are going to be very comfortable with moving into this, you know, mid-half of the second half. With the Blade Storm pop, they're hoping that Wardell can make some magic happen. We'll see if that's going to be the case here as he's pushing towards the A site. There are 3 juicy targets on the opposite side. We'll see if he lands the Blade Storm onto one of them, or if Shinobi and company will be able to put a stop to it early.
And again, CLOUD9 has freaking lit up the B site like a Christmas tree. There's so much utility over there. The TSM are trying to work their way over onto A. They're also going to get some tree room control. This is huge. But, oh, Relics. Relics and Shinobi are both there to cause problems.
Wardell is at least going to answer for the sins of his fallen comrades, but he's the only one that remains. Relics and company will be able to stop them dead in their tracks. Tens up above on the generator will put that Blade Storm, dull the blades, and send it down to the next round. A round that we anticipated CLOUD9 to win, but TSM definitely made it a little bit more expensive, as now they will buy up. TSM going to be opting in for the operator this round. We're not seeing really CLOUD9 push it quite yet. They don't really have the credits to do so, at least for Tens, if he's going to be opting in for that operator. But at the moment, this is a do-or-die round for TSM. This is a gun round that is so important to get the tempo back into their swing so they can build economy. CLOUD9, they're sitting pretty. They can coast for a bit. They can bleed a couple of rounds, but TSM desperately need this round.
Yeah, but the problem is, Simo, TSM is not a squad that you can afford to bleed a bit against, right? Like, you give them an inch, they're going to take the mile, and that's why so many people consider TSM to arguably be the best team in North America, top 2 in the world. Right? So if you're CLOUD9, you can't let off the gas. You can't, because TSM will punish you for that. So Rosa is able to get the opening pick as Relics is taken out. You hear the From the Shadows was used. The spike is still nowhere near the site as it looks like TSM tries to fight for control of mid.
I would love to see a stat. How many smoke kills TSM
It's
found
unreal.
throughout the open qualifier. They just spray, and so does Tens. Shot caller out of commission. Cutler will be taken down. Now the Blade Storm here from Tens looking to do a little bit more than Wardell was in that previous round. But Wardell's still alive, still an impact player, still can do some damage. He's got the spike, and it's starting to make its way over towards this A side. Where you've got Vice, you've got Tens. Those are 2 players that you do not want on the opposite side.
And with 30 seconds left, I mean, at this point, they've got to go away. They don't have enough time to rotate back around. So you're guaranteeing that this is where the hit's going to go. The problem is Sabrosa is weak. He doesn't have a ton of health to his name. You see Tens is already there. He's going to get flashed out. You hear the spike has begun to plant. Tens spots one. Tens takes one. As he's going to drop down on the site with the blaze. He gets up close to personal, but he's not able to take anyone out. Shinobi answers the call. He stops the push. TSM's just down to Sabrosa. Cloud9 plays that perfectly.
Wow. 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 Super well done. You saw Tens was hungry for blood as well. Already dropping the 20 bomb. Wardell not too far behind alongside Relics as well, but a strong... They didn't even let the retake happen. They just fought them on the site, and unfortunately yeah, there was a lot of smokes, a lot of pandemonium. It was great for Shinobi. He rotated from the B side early in anticipation. He called the play on the A side. He could have stuck on the B side. He could have stuck in the courtyard looking down the middle, but it did not work out that way. He rotated early and he found success. Now looking at the sixth test of this round. Shinobi once again! Shinobi! Gonna find two. They're gonna push in. Looking for the third. Has to go over the and runs right now. It's Tens' turn to have a little bit of fun. It's Cloud9 put us at map point 12-6.
Match point.
Shinobi has had two huge rounds here, 15 and 13. He's certainly playing well. Tens, as you mentioned, is having himself a field day as well. Cutler with a slower game, but again, Cutler has been so important in the rounds that TSM has won that you can't count him out, but Cloud9 pushing the situation here. They find themselves on match point. They're looking to take a 1-0 lead. And folks, remember, this is a strong map for both of these squads. TSM banned away Cloud9's weakest map in Haven, and they took the matter to Ascent. So Cloud9, again, good for both squads. Cloud9 certainly looking better so far.
This is a map that both teams are potent on, so it's not something that I think, either team is going to come out swinging on this map, and it just looks like Cloud9 were the team that swung a little harder on Ascent. Of course, Bind will be coming up next. Already Wardell out of commission. He'll have to sit the rest of the round out, as will Sabrosa. Down to the 3v4 as Cutler now puts himself in a position with the rest of his team to play in the back of the site. Hunter Screwy now here for Cutler, is looking to try to tag up a couple of members. Maybe you see someone on the opposite side. Oh, he's going to find one right onto Vice. That might be the ticket here, as now they start to come through. FaZe has to back away. A lot of injured members here for TSM. One shot, and they're going to be as good as gone. Now the push-in comes in for Cloud9. Paranoia Haze, unfortunately, can't see a darn thing, as Ten will be able to send him down to the graveyard. Cutler in a 1v2, or should we call him the Clutchler? Unfortunately, this time we will not. Cloud9 wraps up map number 1 with a neat little bow.
A convincing win from the boys over in Cloud9. TSM, they showed moments of brilliance. They showed a couple of instances in why they're considered one of the best teams, arguably a little spicy here, right? Oftentimes when we do see a change on this Cloud9 composition, it's because we see Tens on Reyna instead of on Jet, but this time we're seeing something a bit different. Super excited to see how this plays out. TSM is going to be starting on the attacking side as they work their way towards Hookah. Mitch gets taken out. Unfortunate circumstances, he gets punched in the face. Wardell gets in on the action as well, as, ladies and gentlemen, chaos ensues right outside of the teleporter. One member left on the side of Cloud9 after the dust settles, and it's Vice with the Frenzy, who already has 4, looking for the ace. What a start to the map, baby!
Okay, so let's break down that map. Let's break down that round, because I know, people like Sideshow, people like Vansili, people like Immortal Minds, they're going to look at that round 1 and be like, holy smokes, what a beautiful way to play that execute through the portal. So they throw a player early into the portal, anticipating maybe presence towards B short. They have Mitch holding the hookah angle, and Shinobi's, sorry, no, not Shinobi. Shinobi jumps in through the portal. They have 2 players in hookah and then 3 players towards the A site, ready to hop through the portal and bring the fight to TSM. And they also stack things up after Mitch falls with a fat paranoia and just continue the onslaught from both sides. TSM's like, where do we focus? Where do we provide our focus in this push? Because it's hookah, it's portal. How do we figure out which one to focus on? And Cloud9 come in with a right hook.
It was absolute chaos. And even with that like set piece that you just so masterfully described, it dropped down to a 1v1, Simo. A 1v1 at the hands of a frenzy, no less. So huge, again, huge statement by Cloud9. They're gonna have plenty of guns to work with here in this next round. TSM's already down to 3 members left. The spike, not really anywhere near a site at this point. It's a really strong start for Cloud9.
Cloud9 just trying to hold on to this B site. That recon bolt will not last for long as TSM likely looking for a late round A site hit as they're just causing a lot of ruckus. They can still pull off, but if these members end up falling like that, it's all going to be pulled down to FaZe, who
30 seconds left.
Dispatches now. It's down to Cutler. They know exactly where he is to jump through. Looking for a jumping classic. Unfortunately, he's kind of stuck by the shots there from Vice. Can't really get a lot more movement momentum. So Cloud9 win the first 2 rounds. This is now going to be TSM on the gun round. If this round does not go well, I worry that the tempo of the series is really starting to favor Cloud9. I want TSM to bring us to map 3 because I want an exciting semifinal. And I know that Wardell is hype. I know that Subroza's hype. I know that they want to bring the action. But if Cloud9 win this round that should statistically go in the favor of TSM, it is not going to bode well for the rest of this half.
Cloud9 only bringing 1 Phantom into this round and 4 Spectres across the rest of the board towards the full rifles of TSM. So you got to give them the nod here. But, well, of course, as I say that, Relix is able to get 1. Tens gets 1 as well. Wardell's going to trade it out as they shimmy their way onto that A site. Subroza working his way through U-Haul. Wardell is there as well. Relix trying to flash off, trying to keep things at bay while he waits for his teammates to arrive. And Simo, they're going to be coming in from both sides.
I love how Cloud9 play the flanks. They are already committed 2 members towards that short side, and as a result, you're seeing TSM trying to anticipate it. They're being pinched. Once again, I feel like Cloud9, I should call them the Oreo team, because they sandwich every single round. But this time, TSM are able to at least fight back. Smokes are down, and now we're seeing a little bit of a teleport play there from Subroza, but unfortunately, he's down and out for the count. All down to Cutler. Shock Dart not going to connect. Cloud9 should be able to push him out. The Nano Swarm's going to do exactly that. And as I highlighted, this is not a round that TSM want to lose. Cloud9 have really shown some phenomenal prowess to kick things off on Vine.
Yeah, and we've seen a couple of early funny looks out of Cloud9 around that telly. So we'll keep a close eye on whether or not they continue to do that. But Cloud9 just looks so good early on. Vice at 6-0. Yeah, that ace certainly helped. But Relix is showing up at action as well. The way he held off that site really by himself initially, bringing things down to a 5v2 for Cloud9 was just absolutely beautiful. Relix looks good, Cloud9 looks good right now, but this is where you said it best. You run the risk of things getting a little out of control here for TSM, and they don't have a ton to work with as far as artillery goes.
Cage triggered.
Fortunate there for Shinobi. They really want that weapon. Hayes gonna pick it up. Once again, the Venn diagram on the ground. Cyber cages all around. They're now going to start to push in. Run it back's dealt with, and so is Hayes. That brand new weapon, that shiny new car, has already been totaled. Now back to the shop with you. The rest of TSM holding on to this A-shore position. Cloud9 no longer looking for that sandwich. They're going to retake accordingly. Cutler finds a shot there with the Sheriff. Things are now looking a little bit better for TSM on this eco. And we've seen how these 50 rounds can really slip away from Cloud9. There's a 3v4, they push in, pencil trade. Wardell with 2. That's going to be down to the 1v2. Mitch just trying to survive as he sees Wardell up above, raining from the sky. And now Subroza, oh my goodness, almost slips away. But the 50 round in the hands of TSM, a round they desperately needed to win, can now start to balloon their own economy moving in the round ahead.
And that was perfect for Team Solo Mid there. And again, the Blade Storm, right? The Blade Storm that we talk about time and time again in an eco situation, proving to be the difference maker. Wardell absolutely went off on that site, got a couple of insanely important picks, and Cloud9 just got picked apart. And there was a moment there where TSM was the one who thrived in the chaos. We saw in the opening round, it was Cloud9 in the midst of the madness that emerged victorious, but that time it was TSM who like purposely played into the chaos and was able to get exactly what they needed. But look at the aggression out of Cloud9. They're just running right at TSM.
How do Cloud9 find those openings? Of course, TSM are still up on the man advantage. They still have the the advantage here in terms of who is left and who is not for Cloud9. Fault9 to try to stop the Showers push, but Relics is still interested, still unfazed. They will plant behind the APC, a very interesting plant position as they want to play towards the defender side. They're now going to switch roles. Cloud9 is the attack and TSM are the defense. We'll see if Mitch on the late round rotation through the spawn will be able to help Cloud9 retake the site, or are they just looking for exits, because it does seem to be the case.
For a moment, I thought Mitch on the rotate was going to be able to do something there and pinch them in, but he thought twice about it, shuffled backwards, and they are going to play out for the save. And I get it, Mitch, he's going to have an operator, so you want to carry that into the next round, but TSM, given the chaos that was the first round, respond in kind very impressively for them to get things back to a competitive nature. Simo, we were worried about the momentum that Cloud9 was going to be bringing into this map, right? 13-6 on TSM's good map, and then you kick it off with an ace on the pistol round. You're like, TSM just got punched in the mouth. But they've responded. They've done so well in dealing with the adversity, in standing strong, and they find themselves just down one round. Those last 2 rounds were huge.
Absolutely important for them, and now moving forward, TSM have started to build their own economy 2 rounds in a row. They've been able to save a lot of weaponry from that previous round. A very interesting look from Cloud9 to at least get aggressive and pack a punch at themselves, but TSM were still able to be none the wiser. Now moving into this one, this could tie things up 3-3, but Cloud9 still have weapons online 2 rounds in a row. They're sitting at 2,400. And the loss bonus could be 2,900 after this, but we'll see as TSM a little bit spread out looking for information. And for the first time, they're going to be hitting this B site, a look that we haven't seen on a gun round yet from TSM.
Oh, the last time the spike was here was a bloodbath. But the problem is, Simo, they're pushing right into all of Killjoy's utility. So they don't... It's just so insanely tough to get onto this site when Killjoy, is set up here. Furthermore, you've already got the paranoia coming out of Shinobi. TenZ is going to get an opening pick onto Hayes on the opposite side of the map, so there is no additional information to be gained there. They have to go B.
40 seconds or so and some change left on the clock. TSM going to hightail it over towards the A site where we have Vice. But nope, they changed their mind. Wardell going to find a late round shot there with the operator, but still Flash means Mitch will be able to convert. Nano Swarm to stop any aggressive looks. Jumping
30 seconds left.
TSM down to 3. Man advantage to Cloud9. Turret will spot one out, but it looks like a late round portal play is possible. Well, 20 seconds, it's now or never. Now they start to come in. Hunter's Fury from the side of Fletchler. He's going to start to do some damage. Does not find anybody, but it's the trade for trade. The 2v2 now is all that remains. But 10 has arrived, and Vice has got his
10
own.
seconds left.
Hunter's Fury, the Blade Storm will find its mark, and Cloud9 now lead by 2.
TSM had a couple of opportunities there, but I think the problem was they ran out of time, right? They couldn't invest into the teleplay. Wardell worked his way up B long with the operator to try to establish some presence there, but the Killjoy turret was in a perfect position to dissuade any movement that way. So as soon as they stepped towards that telly, they knew exactly that was a possibility, that was an option. And then again, for Cloud9, the Blade Storm out of 10s, it seems like every time the guy does something absolutely insane and you think there's no way 10's outdoes himself, he does it again. 4-2 lead for Cloud9, and well, 10's getting the best of Wardell.
I can imagine Wardell's not happy about that. Neither is Coach Smith, which I'm assuming the strategy from the playbook is not working out as intended for this second map. 10's looking for potentially another shot. Paranoia will pull him off, and that seems to be the name of the game for a lot of teams. You don't need to risk your life if it doesn't need to be worth risking. Vice, 10 still going to hold on the site. Red carpet's rolled out, but nobody's going to be looking to walk it. Now it is TSM that'll have control of this A site, down to, of course, the 5v4. Still very doable here for TSM, but it all depends on these next few seconds. They're pushing in 10, repositioning, still alive, buys himself milliseconds of time for the rest of the team as they start to push in. Vice versus the one final player, Sabrosa. And it's Mitch that'll dispatch him accordingly. A very quick round here from Cloud9, putting us up to 5-2. TSM get on the site, but they can't hold it for long.
Well, and I loved the Rolling Thunder out of TSM there. It may not have necessarily knocked anybody up on the side of Cloud9, but what it did was it created space. Folks, using it into U-Haul allowed members of TSM to funnel into that area right behind it. So if there's a challenge, they're surely going to win that gunfight, but additionally, if there's not, they still establish control and presence in that area. So TSM, like you said, got onto the site. They played that so well, unfortunately not able to hold it as Cloud9 responded really well. They find themselves up 3 rounds. TSM on a mixed buy here. You see a couple of pistols. Things not looking good for TSM so far.
I'd imagine on Bind, it is the defensive half that favors regardless of the scenario. Looking at the statistics for the entire tournament, Bind, in fact, every map has been defender-sided across the board. Even though some teams prefer the attack, even though some teams prefer Mitch to just pop off, find one pick, it's traded, and now the weapon has been upgraded. We'll see now the rotation from Cloud9. They're not afraid to use the portal. They're not afraid to make a little noise as TSM are down to 3, just trying to get the spike on the site. They can't even do that as Cloud9 have already arrived.
They're getting out. They're getting out. They're getting out. They took the tally. Wardell's going to get the heck out, and he's going to get onto A. Likely going to be able to get the spike down. They already have somebody at the pinch point as well, and who else but Sabrosa? He's going to be the first one to see members of Cloud9 rotate their way over. The problem is the sandwich team themselves, Cloud9, are going to be pinching in from the flank as well. They've managed to get onto the site. They're going to get some info there. Sabrosa spots, not able to get a kill, but gets info. They have lost Heaven control.
Now as they start to come in, Wardell loses a crucial gunfight. Now it's down to the 4v2. Sabrosa will at least be able to nullify how Wardell was not able to find that frag. Now it's down to the 3v2. They got to defuse the spike. Sabrosa will answer back. Now it's the 2v2. The spray here from Sabrosa. He wants to try to stop the defuse, but Relic is going to come in from behind. The spray almost doesn't secure it, but Shinobi alongside Relics will be able to secure that 6th round. The defuse is close. 1 second too late. And TSM would have given themselves a 3rd round. Very well played there in the retake. I like the execute. You called it. The late round rotate from TSM, but Cloud9 still able to break through onto that A site.
And it was the pinch, right? It was the problems where TSM, as they should, right? Because they're on the site, they've gotten the spike down, they're trying to take post-plant positions, excuse me. But Cloud9 being able to apply pressure from multiple spots, that on top of the fact that Sabrosa was not able to get an opening pick on that pinch point when they're coming in from the defending side. That is what caused problems for TSM there. The execute was beautiful. Like, they had it. That was there. But again, TSM gets onto the site. They're not able to hold it. Cloud9 showing extreme proficiency in taking sites back.
Definitely a scary sight for TSM. Now, I feel like we have to consistently remind ourselves that the stakes for this open qualifier is for seeding. I've seen that tweeted like a million times. Finesse, one of those players that like a player will be like, oh, I'm so hyped, I'm ready. And Finesse is just like proceeding. And so he just tries to pack a little bit of a punch. We're now seeing the Flash Sabrosa in a lot of trouble. And he'll definitely feel that seeding in the morning. Now it's down to the 5-4. TSM still want this B side, but once again, they're prepared with Haze on the flank. They can top this portal, jump in through this portal, and the A side should be relatively easy to take, but they're taking their sweet time. They might just funnel all the way back to B, as they know that Cloud9, I mean, I wouldn't say they over-rotate, but they're like, oh, they tricked us. Well, let's try to trick them. So TSM, I think, will have the advantage here.
All right, so TSM has shown us a number of different looks here on the attacking side. The problem is Cloud9 has been able to handle everything that TSM has thrown at them, but now we're getting a different look. The problem, Simo, is that the rotation back towards B is taking too long. Cloud9 heard the telly go off, and they're like, okay, yeah, pull everything back towards A, but wait a second, where the heck are these guys? You get the yips, you start waiting around, like, where the heck are they? So you rotate back, and that's exactly what Cloud9 does. Now TSM's going to get onto the site, but they only have 8 seconds, and Vice stops it dead in its tracks. Wardell is able to get... However, and he's got the op as well to take care of Vice, but no, TSM gets taken out. Shinobi, the IGL from Cloud9, keeping things comfortable for Cloud9.
No time. That was the problem. It was the 6th man in the lobby. Time was not in favor of TSM there. And while it was a slower rotate towards the B site, they were making sure that they were dotting their I's and crossing their T's. They did not want that late round flank from Mitch and Shinobi that has been so potent in those A site takes. They come in from A shore and they're like, where did you come from? Where did you go? Cotton Eye Joe, that whole business. And this time, TSM, they were not willing to risk that B short rotate. So they're like, let's just take it slow. Let's just play it a little bit slower, and we'll see if we can catch somebody in rotation. But Cloud9 this time played the passive way, and were able to find more success in TSM.
Yeah, here again, Cloud9 not playing aggressively, right? And Wardell was waiting for it. You saw him use the Blade Storm, wait for something pushing through showers. Nobody pushes through. Now it's actually an Owl Drone that's going to come through to try to establish some semblance of information. TSM looking like they're going to want to play towards a short. They've waited. It looks like, yep, this one's going to be hot and heavy, but TenZ. Oh, TenZ. TenZ is able to mow them down, looking for a third, not able to get it. As Sabrosa with the Guardian makes it sing. Wardell's able to get one as well as Cloud9 are just down to 3 members left, but Vice picks Sabrosa apart before he even gets a chance to get onto the site. TSM down to 2.
Yeah, the shock dart will do a little bit of chip damage as they're just trying to pre-fire. Cutler with the Sheriff, it's traded back from Mitch, but now the Wardell factor is in play. He's going to find that one early onto Mitch, down to the 1v1. Wardell up against Relics. Wardell going to play the patient game, as is Relics. 30 seconds left on the clock. If Wardell opts in to go towards that B site through the portal, there is a turret, and there is an alarm bot waiting for him, but he is going to look for the frag instead. Relics waiting with the angle, but they just see each other like ships passing in the night. But now it's daytime, and there's 14 seconds left to plant. Wardell sprints on over towards the site. He's going to be stopped here by the alarm bot, by the turret, but he's just going to dash on through, looking to get that spike planted. Relics now in position. He gets it down with 2 seconds left on the clock. The flash comes through, but Wardell does not get flashed. 74 HP. The dream, as now comes the nightmare. It's Wardell. Scary sights for Relics as Wardell will clutch the round, putting up TSM to 3 rounds.
And Simo, you called the utility of Killjoy on the B site as what should have been the safety net. That should have stopped Wardell, or at least bought enough time, deal a bit of damage, you know, make him think twice about it. For Cloud9, for Relics, to get over, to take care of business. But he managed, Wardell did, managed to dash onto the site in such a way to where the turret hit him once. The alarm bot never went off. Like, all of the defensive measures that were put in place to stop that exact play were nullified because of how Wardell got onto the site, because of the angle that he held. So, huge play from TSM to get a 3rd round on the board, to try to keep this first half competitive. Cloud9 is not out of the woodworks yet, folks.
TenZ got the Blade Storm, and now as they start to come onto the site, that's one blade that connects. He's going to refresh that. Wardell proving to be a nuisance. Now TenZ trying to reposition. Unfortunately, he's the only member left on the site. This should be a round here for TSM as they've managed to find themselves in a huge advantage. But of course, we also have to wonder what Relics and Mitch are capable of doing in this 2vx scenario. Sabrosa waiting, playing close. Mitch on the opposite side. The fault line's going to help out with that. Wonderfully executed. Now it's just down to Relics. You know exactly where he is. Peek and you die. Cutler going to take him down. TSM potential here to bring us up 7-5, and I never would have thought that, considering how dominant this half has been for Cloud9. The fact that TSM could even bring it within 2 is an impeccable feat.
Yeah, man. Again, like you said, for how this half has gone, to get to 7-5 for TSM, that's huge, right? That keeps the second half competitive, and it's been Wardell leading the charge, 12-8. Looking like he's thinking, all right, he is going to take that operator into this next round. TSM somehow, again, given all of the impressive work that Cloud9 has been able to do, find themselves in a very good situation. Furthermore, they have 4 ultimates to work with. You just saw Relics pick up the Rennet back, and he's going to use it instantly. But there's nobody home. There's nobody there. TSM has invested everything over onto that A site. They're going to push their way into showers. There's going to be one. Just Sova, who's going to be hanging out from the opposite side, but there's the entry. That's the Rolling Thunder, and that's going to give them access onto A.
Bye. Okay, Sabrosa, he was trying to stop the flank coming in, or stop the retake coming in from the defender spawn. The lockdown's going to be a problem because they have to get rid of it. They're going to use the Hunter's Fury to do so, as Cutler is going to be able to take it down. They've got a Hunter's Fury of their own. Vice just trying to track Cutler, almost finds him, almost finds Wardell as well, but now playing close is going to be Drone. He's waiting on the opposite side. Sabrosa was waiting and playing this angle last time. Now as Vice starts to come through, can a multi-kill come through for Drone? He's hoping for it, finds 2 in the round. Can he find another? Yes, he can! Give it to him! Drone with 3, it's down to 10 in a 1v3 every scenario. If there was anyone on C9 that would want in this scenario, it would be TenZ. Now Wardell peeks out from the side. That's the Tailwind to dodge it. Tailwind after Tailwind seems to be a skill matchup, but no match for Cutler as he takes him down. TSM finished the half 7-5. Started out rocky, but they definitely hit the road and added a little bit of ice cream to boot. Now we're moving into the second half with CLOUD9 on the attack.
Oh my gosh, there's so much to talk about just from that last round, but before we get in there, let's take a look at the highlights from the first half presented by our friends over at GoPuff. And yeah, it was the beginning, it was that pistol round, it was the pandemonium that ensued, and Vice, again, with the frenzy, was just able to rip them to shreds. It dropped down to a 1v1, and that always feels good, right? But again, TSM, given how
10 seconds left.
well, I don't want to say disastrous, but given how raw the beginning of that half looked for TSM, again, for them to be at 7-5 here was huge. And it was Drone with the multi-kill here was able to take care of CLOUD9. And it wasn't the exact same pinch point that we were talking about earlier with Sabrosa. It was a little bit further back, but the pinch point was there. They held it, and they were able to keep CLOUD9 at bay. So TSM responding very nicely to close out that half.
I like this play. 2 jump through the portal, but Vice getting a couple of shots through the double box. The rest of CLOUD9 pushing through the showers. On the opposite side waits Wardell, and he does, in fact, hit those. He don't miss. Hoping on the other side is Relics that he does miss, because he's about to get a world of pain. Now it's a fake execute towards the B site. TenZ actually dashes forward, and this is quite the fake here for CLOUD9. They're preparing for the Blaze Wall. They're setting down the hot hands, but Vice is down and out for commission. We're seeing action on both sides. And still, TSM are holding down both sides, but CLOUD9 have already lost a member in A short. And now it'll be traded. Cutler will fall TenZ deep back in the elbow. The smoke here to try to help him escape, and he does so valiantly. Wardell still like a rock, unmoved on that A site.
And the spike is actually staying over there, right? Like, it looked like they invested resources to get some info onto B, but it was all a fake the entire time. But the fake was actually a fake for the fake. I'm losing all of the fakes to keep up on this. Wardell's there. Wardell's able to get one. Relics is able to trade it out. They're going to get the spike. They're going to get it down over onto that A site as Relics. No!
Wow.
Relics! Oh, Relics got taken out before he was able to get the spike down. Shinobi is able to get one, however. Now he's the one who has to try to get the spike down, but he's gonna get taken out. TSM, another chaotic pistol round between these two squads, and this time it's TSM that emerges victorious.
It seems like CLOUD9 have been in the hyperbolic time chamber working on the pistol, because these back-to-back pistols have been incredibly spicy, but I have to commend TSM for playing rock solid. They were like Malphite, unmovable and unstoppable force that eventually CLOUD9 could just not break through. We saw the positioning from TSM. Sabrosa and Wardell never left the A site. In fact, they pushed forward. Sabrosa made his way up into A short, while the rest of TSM were struggling to deal with the TenZ factor on towards that B site, and now CLOUD9 on the pistol. Likely going to be a little bit of a, whoa. Such an interesting interaction. I for sure thought that the recon dart was going to be able to spot them out, but they play that well. This is likely going to be a big, fast B-side hit. We'll see how it pans out for TSM.
CLOUD9 does bring one sheriff to this fight, but everything else is going to be classics. Relics is able to flash out Drone. Drone's going to have to back up a little bit, but still holding that tight angle with the Bulldog. He got spotted one, not going to land, and he's getting pushed back yet again. He's already been tagged up considerably.
Uh-oh. Drone, run! Run, Drone, run! He gets out alive. Wardell will be able to send some parting shots. No B, but that spike still needs to get planted. Vice looking to do the dirty work there. Wardell has already had a phenomenal performance with the Bulldog, letting it off the leash. Hazed. Spectre. Not looking like a great round here for CLOUD9, as it's a flawless one for TSM. They'll tie us up 7-7. And now we have evened things out. CLOUD9 will be on the gun round, the round to follow. And we'll see if, in similar fashion, TSM could answer back with 3 rounds string together of their own, which CLOUD9 so handsomely did in that first half.
Simo, there was a point at which the score was 7-2. Had you told me that a couple of rounds later we'd be knotted up at 7 apiece, I would have called you a liar. But TSM, once again, respond to adversity so well. They're able to fight their way back into this thing, knotted up at 7. Now, however, is where the rubber meets the road. Now Cloud9 is going to have full guns. Now we're going to get into the routine of the second half, and now we're going to see can TSM continue the success. The pistol round is a huge first step. Winning the following round, absolutely insane as well. But now it's on TSM to hold fast.
Very well done there from TenZ to stop Wardell from, to be honest, popping off. He had the Blade Storm. He was hoping to tailwind updraft into the Blade Storm and absolutely dunk on Relix, who was waiting on the opposite side. But with every dunker, there's going to be a point guard to help assist. And of course, TenZ was there and able to stop the dunk in the process. Cloud9 now with the man advantage, looking like a great round for them, but an aggressive push up the shower. Shinobi is going to be able to stop it. Sabrosa just trying to run away, just trying to escape, smokes himself off. The spray gonna... looks like it connected, but unfortunately Sabrosa is still relatively alive. Now he's gonna feel a little bit more pain. 37 HP remaining. Can't really do a whole lot about that. Cloud9 on the precipice of a flawless round as TSM just trying to figure out which site it's gonna be.
Well, there goes the flawless round. Hayes is able to get one. He's also going to upgrade his weapon as Vice starts to plant the spike. This was a gun round, folks, and it was a disadvantageous gun round for TSM because they were bringing in SMGs, but a gun round nonetheless as Cloud9 find themselves up considerably in personnel. Just one member left on the side of TSM, and it's going to be Color. Color has the Bulldog, and it looks like he's just going to save, maybe try to play a few exits, but Cloud9 is going to take the lead back.
I feel like statistically, the team that wins the pistol and then converts more often than not loses that third round. Economically, it makes sense, right? Economic advantage makes sense. If TSM were going to be able to swing this around similar to how Cloud9 did in the first half, they would have absolutely destroyed Cloud9 on this. This is a defender-sided map. Well, statistically, every map has been defender-sided for this tournament, for this open qualifier, even though we know secretly that some maps may be a little bit more favored towards the attack. The stats don't lie for the open qualifier, and so for TSM, they're definitely sitting a little bit more prettier than Cloud9 in this instance. They should be a little bit happier, but of course, Cloud9 definitely shocked us on a sense as well with how potent their defense and their attack were. So I wouldn't really chalk it up to just, oh, this is defender-sided. Oh, yeah, TSM's going to win. I still think Cloud9 has something left in the tank.
And again, TSM has shown that they're more than capable of meddling back and keeping this thing competitive. So for either of these squads, really, folks, we are far from over. This match will continue to deliver as, once again, we find ourselves in a very close score. Cloud9 up 1 in the second match of this best-of-3. Winner advances to the finals tomorrow. Loser goes home, is eliminated. Cloud9 trying to keep TSM back. It looks like they're going to try to make a play towards onto A. TSM has invested a lot of their resources over onto B with just 2 members hanging out over on this site. Relix, yep, here we go. He's going to go in aggressive here. Rose is going to get pushed back by the shot dart and the guns of TenZ. Relix manages to get on there, but TenZ is able to take care of 2. TSM down to 3.
Such a standard play there for Cloud9, and really a standard play on Mind. Using the Phoenix to help push in, run it back, clear out the lamp side. And, of course, TSM are going to focus that. They don't want that clone to go off to a running start, but it is, in fact, TenZ who's able to nip that in the bud there for TSM. So now TSM likely going to be rotating around, maybe trying to find some exits, maybe trying to hold on to these weapons. But, of course, Cloud9, they're not comfortable with just sitting pretty. They want to be involved as well. We are seeing, I like the setup here from TSM. They've got an angle towards that portal side in Hookah. And so as Cloud9 jump through, I can expect, if they jump through, that TSM will just spray that for good measure. Maybe find a pick, maybe find 2. We'll see. Oh, 1 gets tagged, and now Cloud9's like, yeah, don't go in there. Yeah, it's a death trap. Yeah, you don't want to end up in there.
Relix was on the flank too. Oh, he is able to get one. Oh, but he gets traded out by Drone. Relix played the long con of that round for what felt like an eternity as he slowly waddled his way over back towards B. I thought he wasn't going to get there in time, but was able to get a kill on the way out there. Cloud9 up 2 rounds, but TSM, they've got guns. Wardell with the op, a tale as old as time, 17-10, looking to keep this close against Cloud9.
That is a scary sight there for Cloud9 once they realize that that is what the play is going to be. But I like this play from Wardell. He's going to get aggressive towards B short. Unfortunately, that aggression doesn't really pay off as Cloud9 not setting up for a B-side push anytime soon, at least for the early looks of the round. Sabrosa trying to play close in the smoke, sprays through on the tents, does land a couple of shots. He's just trying to run out of the clips, run it dry, but Sabrosa still survives. Tens is like, I'm not gonna let you live. Tries to get the goal, but loses it. TSM dismantled Cloud9, but it's partly down now to a 2v2. Spike likely going down shortly, but they need to pick it up first. Wardell still alive. Shots with the op ringing true. Has the Blade Storm available if he really wants to cook things up. Wardell gonna play this patiently. He's gonna play it carefully. Wait for the peek there from Relics. I wonder if there's a curveball left in the tank. That would be the way to take care of the Relics. Shock Dart's gonna hurt just as much. Shot's gonna almost ring true. Wardell down to just single-digit HP. That's the op shot. That'll connect, but the time is ticking. Vice has won many a clutch. This may be another one for the bag. TSM, they don't have a lot of information on the site. They still have a lot of time, but the spike is starting to increase in tempo, and that is a glaring sign that TSM need to act. One is defusing. Spray from Vice. Shock Dart's gonna help out in that process, but he's still alive, still defusing. Pros don't fake, and Pros win round. TSM bring us up 9-8.
Oh, the shock dart was there, and the problem was the spike was playing it in the cubby. So if he's holding that U-Haul angle, he can't see in the little corner of that Tetris piece. So there was no way for him to respond. The only thing he had was that shock dart. He tried it, it hurt, it didn't feel good, but he was able to just stick it and fight through that. So TSM play that so well, and again, it was Wardell with the op. He peeks aggressively, goes through Telly, and then instead of rotating through their spawn, they actually work all their way back through the defending spawn and just cause fits for Cloud9. TSM played that so well, Simo.
TSM right on the heels of Cloud9. 4 ultimates available. Blade Storm wasn't used last round. Neural Theft, if they can find a corpse, can definitely play a factor. Hunter's Fury, stop pushes and stop a lockdown. We're not anticipating a lockdown here from Cloud9, but if it was there, that's what it would be used for. And of course, from the shadows for Sabrosa to help gather the information. A heavy stack towards the shower side. We're now seeing them run it back. They're going to be looking towards the push on the A side, and now here they come. Really uncontested by TSM. They're going to end up playing the retake up against Cloud9.
Oh, Hayes was able to take care of Tens. One member down. There's a neural theft that's been used. Sabrosa spots one. Sabrosa gets the business as Vice gives it to him. And that's going to drop things down to 3. However, for Cloud9, and one of them certainly works for Where, make that 2. Mitch, the only healthy one on the side of Cloud9 there. Excuse me, not healthy. He has 3 health. The health was so low, I didn't even see the health bar. Drone is able to take care of Mitch.
left.
TSM in firm control, as it looks like they're going to knot this bad boy up at 9. Ladies and gentlemen, this thing continues to deliver.
Yeah, super unfortunate there for Cloud9. TSM really held on to that site exceptionally well. They did not let the theatrics of the run it back really scare them too much. And I think Hayes finding that early pick on the round really helped TSM in dissuading plant from Cloud9. I thought for sure Cloud9 were at least going to get a plant and be able to play the post plant. But the fact that that never happened, Shinobi pushed aggressively. He was the first one in the back of the site. He had the spike in hand. Very unfortunate there for Cloud9, but TSM has to give them credit where credit is deserved. Now we're looking at potentially the last gun round for Cloud9 as economy is starting to look a little disadvantageous.
Slow start here from both of these squads. TSM not playing aggressively, not dashing through A short, and really just waiting for Cloud9 to come to them. And the thing is, Cloud9 look like they're waiting exactly for that, waiting to see if TSM's going to play this aggressively, but there's nobody dashing through, there's nobody pushing forward.
Cloud9 consistently playing it slow. We're going to see the Hunter's Fury there from Vice just try to clear out the lamp side. Unfortunately, nobody's home, but there is Sabrosa. This was not within range of the Hunter's Fury there. Now just trying to escape. Once again, a plan wants to go to the favor. Hayes mows down to Cloud9 on this gun round. Not looking good. Once again, these A-site hits have been less than desirable for Cloud9 as TSM have been very successful
30
in
seconds
holding
left.
off the push. The spike will go down, but a 2v4 very difficult here for Cloud9.
And I mean, they have an ult, but it's not one that's really going to be very helpful here as members of TSM all start to rotate and all start to funnel over. Shinobi, who's had a slow map, he's gonna hit a good paranoia. Looks like he's gonna try to telly back behind them. Oh no! He got canceled. Oh my gosh! Shinobi does it, ladies and gentlemen. Drops it down to 2v2. Somehow stays alive, but Cutler stops it. It looked dicey for TSM, but Clutchler does it again. That's gonna give TSM the lead.
What a play there from Shinobi. That was some spicy theatrics coming up from Cloud9. He teleports behind Wardell's like, yeah, miss me with that. But they don't check the 50 in the lamps. Shinobi finds 2 picks there, brings it down to the 2v2, but when Wardell's in that 2v2, when Wardell's in that 1vx scenario, you have to account for the TSM Wardell factor. You just have to. You just have to. The man's about to drop a 20 bomb on Cloud9 after he just barely missed the window on Ascent. This is his map. This is his playground. Cloud9, once again on the gun round. I thought for sure they were going to be down to an eco, but this will be potentially the last gun round for them as they'll drop down to pistols in the round to follow.
And TenZ is bringing an operator on this round, so this is a big one for Cloud9. They haven't found very much success on the attacking side. We talked about how this could be defensive-sided, and well, Cloud9 look good on attack on Ascent, so can they continue to replicate that success on Bind? So far, it's been all TSM. They have a 1-round lead, they have a couple of ults to work with as well, and they've got money to blow, Simo. Things are sitting real pretty for TSM.
And for TSM, this is an important map as well. This is Bind, this is what they selected. They banned Haven as a result of it, a map that C9 have shown that they are to a certain extent weaker at than the rest of the map pool in the tank. And so TSM, there had to have been a pretty good reason to ban Haven and to select Bind instead. And we're seeing that now as they're fighting tooth and nail for round after round. We're now looking at Sabrosa just trying to hold off the push for the rest of Cloud9 as they're once again going towards this A site, getting that spike down, and TSM will have to play.
Oh, Shinobi gets a huge pick onto Wardell on the opposite side of the map. That's going to give them the numbers advantage. Cloud9 has the Blade Storm to work with, but Sabrosa trying to play in aggressively, seeing if he can clear out that U-Haul space. Checks the first 50 so far, so good. Mitch. Oh, they know he's there. He's able to get one. He's able to get the second one as well. Mitch does it again. TSM just down to 2 members left. TSM with Hayes, he's holding things down up in heaven. He's got a Phantom to work with, but they know where he is. He's been flashed out as well. Cloud9, excuse me, have personnel for days. Mitch is certainly weaker, but the spike just continues to tick. Cutler's able to take care of TenZ, playing aggressively there, but the round is going to go in favor of Cloud9, and freaking A, we're tied again.
Cutler dying there is a little unfortunate. And imagine TSM have been able to build up with a pretty relatively safe economy. It's a little bit on the edge there, a little bit up against the ropes. You'll see Cutler deciding what he does want to purchase. A Spectre is unfortunately going to be what the doctor ordered. The prescription not really coming in full this time, missing a couple of pills in the tank. But for Cloud9, oh, is Wardell going to buy down to buy for Cutler? Maybe. No, he might be saving for an op in the round to follow. That might be the play here. But he's looking to get involved. Weiss, unfortunately, blinded by the light. He's going to be sitting out for this round. Cloud9 now down to member, looking towards his A site once again.
What a good entry from TSM, man. They're picking him apart all over the map. The aggressive play from Wardell. Then Sabrosa gets one as well. Now, Cloud9, excuse me, have managed to get onto A yet again, but Shinobi playing this a little bit further back. The problem with that lockdown is that TSM can still play from heaven. They can still hold down the pipes area and try to work those angles. Additionally, when you've got the Hunter's Fury, you absolutely nullify that move, that ultimate. However, Cloud9 have decided that they're going to rotate over to B. TSM sniffs it out, however, and they're on the flank. Sabrosa's on the other side. Sabrosa's able to get one. The Rolling Thunder comes out as TenZ dices up Wardell. A 3v2 in favor of TSM, and TenZ does it again. He's the last one standing. However, in a 1v2, he's got an operator. He's got the Blade Storm. He hasn't been spotted.
Wow.
30 seconds left. He's able to get one.
I got the spike. 30 seconds left.
So the shot! Oh, TenZ! Oh my god! TenZ! Holy smokes! What was that? He clutched that round. You know, I was sitting there, I was thinking, I was like, man, TSM normally, the way that TSM have been playing, you would think, okay, they're overthinking the map. They're putting the chess pieces in normally a different fashion to account for the crazy mid-round, late-round theatrics from Cloud9. You never know where they're going to end up. You never know what's inside the Mega Mix, Mike and Ike Mega Mix. You never know what's inside. The mystery. And TSM are trying to play that accordingly. They're constantly also trying to keep Cloud9 on their toes. But once again, similar to how for TSM you can't rule out the Wardell factor, just like that, you can't rule out the Tense factor either. He finds a 4K in a round, but TSM Wardell already finding an early pick. Has to be good news for TSM. Ten's now going to sit out. TSM likely on the precipice of winning another round.
Oh my gosh, Wardell already with 4 with the operator as he has single-handedly taken apart Cloud9. Mitch, the last one standing, he seems to have picked up the operator. You presume that he wants to save this here. He's nowhere near the spike. Maybe gets a pick. Whoa! Yeah, he gets it through the smoke. Subrosa gets taken out. Cloud9, things not looking good here, but they should be able to take this operator into the next round.
Found them.
We'll see. 40 seconds left on the clock. Alarm bot's going to trigger. Mitch now in a 1v3 with Wardell. Looking like a Game of Thrones episode over there by the fountain. Bodies all over the ground.
30 seconds left.
And guess who's towering above them? It's Wardell with an op. Posted up like a turret. Shot after shot. Sitting down in the bunker. TSM managed to keep the long push at bay. Now for Cloud9, that puts us up 11-11. There's a possibility here for an OT, but you know Drake, as
10
Drake
seconds
says,
left.
never go OT. And for TSM, we'll see if they can bring us there. This is close. This is such a heater of a map here on Bind.
Oh my goodness, this thing's unreal. This second half has just been absolutely bonkers. And again, remember, TSM started off slow. Cloud9 was in full control. At the beginning, the score was 7-2 at one point, and since then, it's been TSM, 24 and 12 out of Wardell. Cloud9 was able to save the operator and get it into the hands of Tens. Cloud9 needs to stand strong here. They don't have any ultimates to work with, but they've got to stand strong.
I mean, you could say the same for TSM. They're both relatively even on economy. A loss here is going to put a blunder on the plans for either team. And once again, it is off the oppo. Oh, that was close. Woo! This one's a little spicy. Woo. I like the attempt there from Tens, but Wardell has to back away.
Keep in mind, Wardell also still has that Blade Storm.
Yes.
Tens does not.
They were able to secure the ult orb in shower side. We already heard the tailwind used by Tens. I think he anticipated the paranoia or something, or maybe he just thought that he was under fire. He had to get out, but nobody was looking his way. Cloud9, 4 members strong from TSM on this A side. They're going to be for a big surprise. They're in for a big surprise when Cloud9 hit this B side. There's a lot of utility there. Tripwires galore. Cloud9 with 40 seconds left on the clock. I don't assume there's any late round theatrics. Now they have to push in. That's the running back that's going to identify the signal that they're getting involved. Spike is being planted. That's going to be one player located. Shinobi dodging that operator shot. Still trying to make it. Signals Wardell. But Subrosa pushes through the portal. Now TSM, they've got a sandwich of their own, but they're trying to clear out one of the cookies on the other side. Relics will be able to deal with him. And now it's the 5v4 retake for TSM.
The problem is for TSM, they're all going to be pushing in from the same side. There is no flank. There's nothing else to really keep Cloud9 on their toes. TSM doesn't have the numbers advantage, but they've got to bust a move. Ladies and gentlemen, Cloud9 looking to push this thing to match point. Mitch is able to take care of Haste. Mitch looking to get a second, and Mitch lights up the kill feed yet again. But Wardell with the operator, able to trade out relics. A random tripwire still around. TSM backs off. Ladies and gentlemen, Cloud9 at match point.
Not only match point, Doug, but they're at series point as well. Now if TSM are able to sneak out one more round, will be taken to overtime. And this is the opportunity for TSM to still keep this map in competition. A very interesting map thus far. We've seen some theatrics on the pistol from Cloud9. Back and forth it goes. 7-2 at some point. TSM claw back, and now here we stand. Cloud9 at map and series point. TSM op back in hand. Ten's got the op as well. And after this, the economy doesn't matter. If you're new to the overtime rules, the economy will sit at 5,000 every single round. The ult points will be at half, but let's put that on pause. We're seeing the involvement from Wardell. He inches ever so close in the showers, but he's gonna have to wash that one off as Tens will take him down.
Again, ladies and gentlemen, CLOUD9 have defeated TSM the last 2 best of 3s that they've played, and so far, they have the lead. They're 1 round away from doing it yet again. TSM down a member. They do have the neural theft, which is huge if he's able to get a body, but Relic spots one, tries to tag him up. Sabrosa was able to get away, but certainly a bit worse for Ware. The spike from CLOUD9 has not made it onto the site yet, as it looks like they're thinking twice about it. They're starting to rotate out of showers.
Drone and Sabrosa, especially as the rounds have started to lay on, have been playing this lamp side together. Normally it has been Wardell and Sabrosa, while Drone having more of a focus towards the B site. TSM have been very comfortable in the late round theatrics on the A side. As we've seen, CLOUD9 have just barely ever been able to make it on the A side, but this is going to be one of those
30 seconds
times.
left.
If Drone and Sabrosa can hold the line here, TSM can bring us to OT.
FaZe taking a look. It's a Guardian, Sentinel over that A short area. As it looks like that's exactly where TSM goes. And oh my gosh, the CC was huge. Sabrosa with the 3-piece mows apart CLOUD9. Ladies and gentlemen, this looks all but inevitable. CLOUD9 doesn't have the spike. They don't have any control over it. Exactly. Are you not entertained? We're going to overtime.
That was, I'm like speechless. Like, CLOUD9 have had these big brain plays.
Switching sides.
And then they 5-stack through A short. I'm just very confused. I'm just very confused, CLOUD9. If I could get a DM from the coach, from the strategic coach, somebody tell me what on earth that was. And that was a scary sight too. The fault line, the Cypher cage. They were like, what is happening? We can't even break through this site. They're trying to let Relics push forward with the curveball, and then Sabrosa's like, yeah, you ready for this? Boom, swing, you're gone, you're dead, 3K, easy for TSM, and now we're going to go with the back and forth of the overtime.
Gosh, this is why I love Valorant. It's because of matches like this. Like, how much more could you possibly ask for? Two of North America's best at this close of a match on a map that we have not seen from either of them in this tournament. This thing has delivered 1,000%, and folks, I have good news for you. We're not done.
TSM is never going out. You know TSM, they are never done. We're now looking at the attack plan here for TSM. Shinobi gets into a very cheeky position. Unfortunately, Culver's going to help out, but that's the spike down. So far, it's been trade for trade down to the 2v2, and both Tens and Wardell are out of commission. It's down to Hazed and Sabrosa. On the opposite side, it's Shinobi alongside Mitch. Mitch has had a spectacular performance, but once again, TSM they love this cranny, and so is Mitch gonna feel it as Sabrosa is gonna take him down. Spike still not planted. Shinobi has to clutch things out. Hazed gonna still play it slow. Now he comes through. The shots are good from Sabrosa. TSM now flip the script and one away from bringing us to map 3.
Match point.
Tens at 23 and 18 has had himself a field day. Vice is certainly playing well as our Mitch and Relics, and Shinobi's a bit lagging behind on the scoreboard. But CLOUD9 have a chance here. The problem is their attacking side, as we saw in the previous half, or in the latter half, was not as strong. So for TSM to win that is huge. Wardell with a uncharacteristic miss, and he got tagged up a little bit as well. CLOUD9 looking to push the matter, looking to get onto B, but with a little bit of ruckus raised, they're going to rotate back out.
They're going to leave Relics to do what Shinobi did in rounds previous. Nope, he's going to back away. It's going to be once again the A side hit, and TSM are, boy, are they ready for it. They're going to smoke down the tag there, the attempted tag there for Hazed. Now as they start to push it, Pandemonium's about to ensue. Hazed is going to be traded out, and now it's the 4v4. Tens is a little injured, as is, oh, sorry, that's Wardell that is injured. My apologies. Tens and company now in position. Spike still not planted. And that's because they know that TSM is on the site. They're sending Relics to do the dirty work. He's going to be pushing in from the shower side. Let's see if he wins the gunfight. He does not. Sabrosa holds fast. Now Cloud9 are down a member, still holding on in this late round position, trying to get that spike planted. Wardell up above. That's a very interesting paranoia from Sabrosa, but nobody swings into it. TenZ! Oh, boy! Wardell going to sit that one down. Now they're going to rotate on over. Cutler, can you hold down the Cloud9 offense?
Cutler. No, Cutler's not going to do it. Shinobi takes care of him. They're going to get onto the site, and it looks like it's going to be planted. A 3v2 in favor of Cloud9 as they looks to extend this map. TSM just down to 2 members left. Drone's one of them, and Shinobi's on the site trying to keep things at bay. They're going to smoke off the entrance. Now Sabrosa's going to peek his way forward. Shinobi's going to be the first one there, but the timing! Sabrosa happens to be fine, but TenZ takes it out. Drones is going to trade that back out. Drone drops. Cloud9 extends it. We're going to a second overtime.
Switching
I
sides.
have a feeling
Overtime.
this one may go for another overtime. We'll have to see, of course. We have to talk a little bit about Wardell forcing that op on that round. He had not a whole lot of armor to work with. In fact, I think he either went with light armor or no armor, and considering it's 5,000 credits, my brain now obviously finally did the calculation. He went in with no armor, and now he's going to do the same thing again. But last time he got tagged, he got injured, and he didn't land a shot. That could have been the impact that TSM needed. Once again, he's going to be looking down that long side, this time on the opposite side on the attack, and Cloud9 prepared for an A side hit, but it's the B side all along.
But again, the utility, Mitch has lit up that side of the map like a freaking Christmas tree. And TSM is going to walk right into it. There it is. Mitch, but Mitch isn't able to get one. Drone takes him out. They're going to get on to B.
Oh, Sabrosa. Oh, no. Oh, Sabrosa. He's going to chase him down. He's going to hop right in. He's going to come in from behind. Sabrosa will be traded. The 4v3. Guess who's coming in from behind? They are sandwiching the sandwichers. Wardell's like, oh, no, I got to get out of here. He's being chased down by TenZ. The smokes go down. Cloud9 playing ring around the rosy. And TSM have got a pocket full of posies. Spike, of course, now going towards that A side. Relic. Cutler, sorry. Finds the pick there onto Relics. Spike's being planted. A huge opportunity for TSM to get that round lead. But as I lose my exact train of thought, this has been an insane round, an insane series between Cloud9 and TSM.
On TSM pushed through their spawn, so they're going to have the access point on that pinch. Cloud9 is walking straight into it. Cutler's going to be the first one there. Drone is there as well with a bit of CC. If Cutler goes down, yeah, the flashes are there. And I believe Cutler spotted TenZ. TenZ gets taken out. Vice is going to get flashed up as well. Vice trades it, but Wardell takes care of him. TSM once again holds serve.
I have a feeling that Cloud9's Valorant roster is going to be the first on the Elon Musk trip to Mars. Do you want to know why? Because they're so used to looking at the sun. 3 flashes back to back to back from Drone. I don't think Cloud9 had a moment where they weren't looking at white on their screens for a second there. And TSM now, they've got the script. They close things out. They bring us to map 3. This is their shot.
Cloud9 were able to pull it off last time. They found themselves in this situation. Can they do it again? TSM down 1 round on the attacking side. The drone is going to go aggressively through a short. They're going to know that there's an operator watching that way, and that is going to give Cloud9 what they need, the information needed to work their way onto B. The problem, TSM, why they normally invest their utility towards B, this time it's over onto A. Cloud9's going to get onto the site for free.
Yeah, they'll find an early pick as well. Make that 2. This is looking like another overtime round unless Wardell can do what Wardell does best. We're going to be looking at Sabrosa, making his way through the market, maybe hoping to find some late round flanks, post-plant positioning, but TenZ is waiting. And boy, does he have the presence of mind to wait. Back into the smoke TenZ goes, as he will just barely pass Sabrosa. Well, on the opposite side is about TenZ. They swing. Sabrosa finds him. That's big for TSM. Now as they retake the site, the TenZ factor is out of commission. We'll see now as they start to push on in.
Mitch has done it time and time again, but this time he's taken out. Shinobi, however, the IGL for Cloud9, looking to keep things alive, but he's going to get taken out. Cloud9 just down to 1. Vice in a 1v2. Knows exactly what both of them are.
Oh!
Vice! Oh my gosh! How did he do that?
Holy smoke! Vice
Switching sides.
Jack, I know you're
Overtime.
listening. Jack. You bring in Vice, the last addition to the Cloud9 Exodia. Do you need more convincing that the man needs a pay bump, slight boost, maybe some vacation time? Woo! This has been one heck of a map. Now we're back to the reset, heading into the third overtime. Vice,
Ready.
you had to do it to him with the recon bolt. You just had to.
I need to sit down. I need to sit down. This thing has been absolutely insane. Once again, triple overtime, ladies and gentlemen. Triple overtime between these two heavyweight squads. And neither of them show any willingness to back down. Wardell goes aggressive. Wardell takes out Relics, but Tens responds with an operator of his own. Last time it was Wardell who rolled the die, but this time it's Tens who's able to make it sing. Vice gets one as well. TSM just down to 3 members left. Shinobi does it, but Wardell is able to take care of business as Sabrosa joins in on the party. A straight up 2v2, ladies and gentlemen, but Wardell drops Cloud9 just down to 1, and it's Mitch.
Wardell is injured. Sabrosa looking a little better. Mitch going to be coming in from that heaven side, and that's exactly where the attention is focused on. Wardell about to peek, sees the ponytail there. A couple of sprays. The tailwind will get him to safety. They hop over towards the B side. There is a nano swarm there. He can activate it from range, and an alarm bot as well. They'll be able to take care of it. Now they can't really plant the spike. They'll at least be able to get it into a decent position.
Left.
Now Mitch is forced into the 1v2. It's a one-way smoke, so he's not really interested in pushing that. Wardell very injured. If Mitch can just spray correctly through a piece of cardboard, he's going to find himself at least one pick, but Wardell plays it passive in the hookah chain there as he sits. As Sabrosa will be working his way through the elbow, but still has to touch his knees and toes to find the frags he needs. Mitch now going to be looking for the defuse, playing it slow, looking for picks. Can't find anybody. Wardell about to peek the hookah, but does not get spotted. Now as he tries to jump out, shot's going to be good. Down to the 1v1. Sabrosa behind the tuna can, but they just barely pass each other. Now Mitch is just trying to stick to defuse. Thinks that Sabrosa is playing towards the long side. He is not. The elbow flank works out.
Switching sides.
Once again,
Match
TSM
point.
looking at map point.
And the thing is, Simo, Mitch has been in situations like that time and time again in this series, and he has delivered. So for it to be a 1v2, Mitch, to keep that as interesting as he did, it's just another day in the office for Mitch. And to keep, again, to get us to another overtime, to keep this thing going is just huge. But the problem is, TSM have pushed Cloud9 into the corner 3 times now. Cloud9 has been able to come out swinging twice and create some room for them, but can they do it again? Can we get into quadruple overtime? TSM once again with the advantage.
I just want map 3. That's all I want. I think that's what everyone else wants. Yeah, this bind map has to come to an end eventually, but I just want TSM to win so we could see what map 3 looks like. Come on. This series, this map in particular, has to be a convincing factor for wanting that third map, and Cloud9, they don't. They don't want it. And now's the paranoia comes. Ooh, holds the line. He's able to spray down 1/10, taken down to injured levels. Now as they start to come through, Sabrosa will be stopped. Now Cutler pushes forward. That spike down. And it's a 3v3 remaining now with Cloud9 up against TSM.
Vice is able to pick up the spike and start to rotate over. Oh, Wardell is waiting for Tens with open arms and an operator to take care of him. Cloud9 just down to 2 members left once again to try to keep this map alive, to try to take care of TFSM and 2-0 them. But TSM once again with the numbers advantage. 30 seconds left. Cloud9 trying to work their way up A short. There's the cage. It's going to give away all of their positioning. It looked like Mitch was able to get through into U-Haul, and they're going to take the telly out. Hayes is still there, however.
Doesn't matter. Wardell is not there. That's all that matters for Cloud9. They don't want Wardell to be a part of that conversation. Now Hayes sprays. Hayes finds his mark. And TSM stay alive in the series, moving us to map number 3. Listen, I feel the same way. I feel the same way. Trust me. I had imagined Coach Myth as the most puckered butt in the entire world as that went to overtime after overtime. The man was like, stick to the plan, and TSM did. Now we're, of course, moving on to that third that we haven't seen before on Split.
And again, what a fitting way to end things between these two squads, going down to map 3 after triple overtime. Here are the compositions on the screen for you. Timo, you mentioned the Viper in the hands of FaZe for TSM. This one's going to be spicy.
So the coin flip does go to the favor of Cloud9. They get the defense first, and ultimately that is the side that is more favored on split. Cloud9 have had 2 opportunities to play split, and that is the map that they have been exceptionally well prepared for. TSM, on the other hand, are 1-1 on split. So they're going to need to do a little bit more work, considering the open qualifiers hasn't been very kind to them on split. But we'll see if this Killjoy, if this Viper really packs a punch against Cloud9.
Does the Snake Lady bite? Does she bite hard enough to take care of Cloud9? Cloud9 on the defending side for this opening half. The spike so slow, so methodical. Subrosa is able to take care of Tense to open up the round.
Looks like the Jet's been replaced, of course, with the Reyna, and we're seeing TSM really pack a punch, pushing onto the site. Cloud9 now just down to 2, but of course they're able to fight back. Subrosa out of commission just before he finds the 3K on the round. There's that Snake Lady packing a punch from a distance, but it's Mitch with that last second frag, upgrading to a Ghost. Cloud9 now up by 1, lead the pistol, and that's a great start for the defense. Let's see how many rounds they can convert off of this first round, because ultimately, on the defense, it's really hard for the attack to find some success.
And remember, Cloud9 opened the last map with a bang on the pistol round. They were able to win that. They rattled off a number of rounds. They had a very comfortable lead, but it was TSM that responded at the end of the half to keep things competitive, and well, we know how the rest of that panned out. But for Cloud9, a strong start, an importantly needed strong start on the attack, on the defending, side. Cloud9 or TSM going a bit aggressively here towards mid, but Tens and Mitch just pick them apart.
And now the Lyra comes through. They want to participate. That's just a scary sight for TSM. They'll at least be able to put one on to Tens, but now it's just down to the Snake Lady, who FaZe has made his way all the way up towards the A heaven side. The spike is down. The alarm bot will spot him out, and they know exactly where he is now. So he's going to try to get in a little bit of a different position. But Cloud9 played that well. TSM stacked up towards the center. Were able to at least find 1 pick for the troubles. If FaZe can find another, it'll definitely be worth the while here for TSM, as the heavy investment from Cloud9 for the second round soft buy. Spectres and heavy armor across the board. We'll see what FaZe can do with 40 seconds left on the clock. I'd imagine it's going to be difficult, but still within the realm of possibility.
I mean, he's certainly taking the scenic route all the way around, and he's going to get spotted by a turret. Once again, they know where Haste is. First it was the alarm bot, then it was the turret.
30 seconds left.
They know where he is, and it looks like they're actually hunting for him. Haste is, well, going to get met by Relics. Relics with the Spectre gives him the business.
Yeah, but
and that's going to be a 2-0 lead for Cloud9.
Just barely survives, though. 20 HP. That 3 classic burst almost put Relics into a coma. I don't know how many rounds that would have lasted, but he still survives, and anyone that survives a shot to the dome deserves some sort of prize. I don't know what prize, but some sort of prize. So Cloud9 sitting pretty. 1 assault rifle moving into this one. TSM going to be locked and loaded, guns blazing. Going to be looking for some mid control. On the opposite side, we do have Vice alongside Tens that are going to be working up a buddy system to try to defend any potential push. But TSM around, that is very important for them to win. Guns on lock.
Once again, that mid control that you mentioned, Tens dies early on for the second round in a row. Cutler able to take care of them. It looks like they're going to pick up the spike. And they still have plenty of options, Simo.
Slow moving towards the A site. Cloud9, of course, down a member. Shinobi, as you highlighted, will be coming back towards this A site. Smoke down actually at the perfect time, but there's no threat on the opposite side. Subrosa going to try to cause a ruckus on the B side, and Cloud9 will see if they react to it accordingly. They do have Mitch waiting on the opposite side. He's in a pretty good spot. Wardell's going to be taken down. He can convert onto the second. Subrosa now going to lurk all the way back around. We'll see how much damage Cloud9 can do, as it's just down to 2 players with Spike behind enemy lines.
Yeah, but Sabrosa opted to go in aggressive there and
30
see if he can
seconds
maybe
left.
catch somebody else lagging, but now he's going to show up late to the party. Fortunately for him, TSM has been able to hold things at bay so far, but now Cutler drops. Sabrosa's the last one there. He's got a Phantom. It's a 1v2. It's certainly not out of the realms of possible, but it's far from easy.
Oh, Vice spotted him. Relic's repositioning. Spike picked up.
10 seconds
Needs to
left.
get the spike planted, but guess who's waiting in the smoke? Yeah, it's Relics. A tough round for TSM to lose, a round that they desperately needed to win. Now the investment is not going to pay off, and they're going to have to be back down to some likely soft force-ups here. CLOUD9 very happy about the performance of that round. Yes, it got brought down to the wire, but like you pointed out, the late round flank from Sabrosa doesn't pay off when all of TSM falls apart.
It just took too long, and it's tough to boil down around to like a 1 second to 2 second decision, but his decision to go a bit more aggressively on B delayed his ability to provide reinforcements on A. It was just a split second, but Cutler got taken out because he didn't have any backup, and that left Sabrosa by himself. Now, CLOUD9 with a big lead, for them to be able to take that out of TSM's hands with Spectres, that's huge.
Huge indeed, and you might chalk it up to positioning. Mitch finding two before dying. Should have only gotten away with one, and considering Wardell was the first one to die, that does not bode well for TSM. As long as Wardell is alive, anything is possible for TSM. Anything. Literally anything. A 1v5, yeah, that's possible. If Wardell's alive, anything is possible for TSM. So for CLOUD9 to take him out first, very crucial. It's the passive B-side play. Shinobi finds a lurking Sabrosa. CLOUD9 pretty disconnected from sites altogether. TSM looks to hit this B-side. We do have Vice waiting on the opposite side. Like clockwork, TSM will dispatch TSM a flawless round for CLOUD9, and now TSM will be back on the gun round for round number 5.
You know, you mentioned Wardell, if he's alive, then anything is possible, but you could say the exact same thing about Tense. The dude is out of control. He's been pugging out like a madman up against TSM here. So as we saw in the last map, these two rosters match up, and whenever they do, there's fireworks. But CLOUD9 roaring out of the gates here to a 4-0 lead. Now we're going to get another gun round for TSM, and if they don't pull this one off, things look real dicey for TSM in the first half.
I mean, I hate to chalk it up to it's a defensive-sided map forehead. Like, I know that that's a little bit of a weak argument, but considering CLOUD9 have got the pieces to have a lot of control, the Omen, the Killjoy, the Breach, they can really keep the attack at bay for quite some time. And if you're committing all of your resources with Killjoy utility on one site, well, they're going to stack all the membership on the opposite site, right? And so there's a lot of control capabilities from CLOUD9. And for TSM, when they move on to the defense, they've got the Viper, the Killjoy, the Omen, and the Breach. They have more tools at their disposal to defend against CLOUD9. So for CLOUD9 to have this hot of a start, it makes sense.
Ever important start. TSM have managed to work their way through mid and are now posturing towards A. They've got plenty of utility from Viper to keep them hidden, and CLOUD9's rotating away.
Slow and steady here for TSM, but with 40 seconds left on the clock, they better make this push worth their while. Now as they start to funnel through, CLOUD9 still haven't rotated.
30 seconds left.
And just popped the Empress. I'm a little bit afraid now about what's about to happen. He's going to find one. Invisibility pushes him forward. He's going to get to safety with Relics, and he escapes. BHP is all that remains. If he finds this pick, he can heal up, but he can't. Relics will find two. You don't need an Empress. Now the showstopper comes through. That's going to be the dunk. And now with 13 seconds left on the clock, Cutler will be able to take him down. Spike, unfortunately, in a tough spot. CLOUD9 with round number 5.
Unreal. CLOUD9 looks so good. That's a second gun round, that TSM is not able to capitalize on. And again, it was a different look this time. TSM waited all the way until about 30 seconds. They still had a bunch of utility from Viper to keep themselves hidden, to keep their intentions behind wraps, and then they exposed. Then they went, and CLOUD9 handled it masterfully. CLOUD9 is in complete control right now, and take a look at who's leading the scoreboard for CLOUD9. It's Relics, 7-2, and while the truth is, Vice and Mitch are having themselves a day as well, at 5-1 apiece. CLOUD9 are in complete control here, Simo.
For For TSM, the best case scenario is I'd imagine maybe an 8-4 half, maybe a 9-3, considering how dominant Cloud9 has got off to a hot start. I don't presume TSM are going to get 12-0'd, okay? We saw what we just saw in Bind. There's no way. Okay, let me just be the first to say there's no way. So for Cloud9, if they can find themselves in a 10-2, that is a beautiful scenario. Beautiful. But for TSM, they're looking for 8-4. They're looking for 9-3. Because like I said, when we get to the defensive side for TSM, all the control that they have from the Viper, from the Killjoy, from the Omen, they'll be putting themselves in a position to succeed. But they need to get there first. And they need to take down Cloud9 in the process. But it's not off to a hot start on the B side.
Oh, gosh. Freaking Cloud9 again. And I know it's not a gun round for TSM, but the way they're winning these rounds, Simo, is just so dang impressive for Cloud9. Sabrosa's the last one standing. Relics continues to pad the stats. 8-2. Cloud9 just looks so good. TSM, yes, they're going to have a lot to work with on the second half when they're on defense, but for Cloud9 right now, get as far ahead as you possibly can, right? Like, rattle off as many rounds as you can because you know TSM's going to come back swinging in the second half.
Another important round here for TSM, back on the gun round. 6 rounds in a row for Cloud9. Wardell still has not been relatively active. And with the op in hand, he's looking to change that on the round ahead. Cloud9, despite the opportunity for TSM in some instances to find the man advantage on site takes, Cloud9 have done a phenomenal job of nullifying those odds and actually bringing it down to a 2v2 on a site hit when they still have the rest of the team rotating over from the other site. So TSM have definitely been hurting in that regard, as Cloud9's heroics on the holds have been great. I'm looking at TenZ, I'm looking at Relics, especially on some of those heroics on the A side, and Mitch as well to boot. TSM need to find some sort of answer on these attack plans because it hasn't been working, and Cloud9 have traded well. So for TSM, now around where they're going to be looking for an early B hit, or at least information in the middle and in the garage. See how they shape up.
Drone causing some problems as it looks like TSM takes an aggressive position up the middle. Oh, Shinobi's going to get flashy swings. He's not able to take care of Sabrosa. Sabrosa getting the best of him there as TSM established control across the middle of the map.
Find that early pick, and I know Cloud9 are just so hesitant on trying to pull the trigger. Wardell tries to escape, and that's the op out of the hands of the man that does not miss. Now the 4v4 looking towards the A site. Relics waiting in position, but guess who comes from the defender's spawn? It's Sabrosa. He doesn't commit to the teleport, and now Cloud9 are forced into a retake, but they might stop the plant before it even drops down.
Unreal. Cloud9 just looks so freaking good. Here's the first time we're going to see the Viper's Pit out of TSM, and in response, you've got the lockdown. Relics is able to get a very important kill on a second one as well. Hayes the last one standing here. He's going to get the spike down, but oh my gosh, is he right in the corner? Is he okay?
I think he is, but unfortunately not for long. As Mitch comes through, the Jello pops out on the other side, and Cloud9 win round number 7. Back down to the eco for TSM. They might soft buy here, maybe Stingers, maybe light armor. Definitely not Vandals and ops across the board, but it has not been a great start for TSM. 5 rounds remain in the half, and if they want an 8-4, if they want a 9-3, they need to start laying on some rounds now. I don't anticipate it's going to be this one, considering the weapons are obviously less than ideal. No Blade Storm for Wardell either. He's 1 out of 6 on that. They do have the red carpet and the lockdown. We'll see if that ends up being used, but TSM up against the ropes.
Cloud9 so far have shown extreme proficiency on this map, and TSM have not found an inch of room to breathe. They haven't been able to get anything going. Cloud9 just looking head and shoulders above TSM right now, and like they have 2 members on TSM who are 0-7. Simo, they haven't been able to get anything going at all, and it's been on the back of a couple of different looks. We've seen the Viper's Pit, we've seen aggressive pushes up mid, we've seen delayed pushes, and it looks like that's exactly what we're going to get here on B. But once again, it's a save round for TSM. Cloud9 continues to make a statement.
Yeah, one after another, down to one final player, Sabrosa. A flawless round for Cloud9. 8-0 the scoreline. And we asked for a third map. I don't think TSM or TSM fans anticipated this much of a beating. Now, this map is defender-sided. It definitely does cater to Cloud9, but at least TSM have tried to find a round, tried to find two, and this could be one right here. Guns online, up in the hands of Wardell, looking towards the A site. This time, Cloud9 heavily stacked with utility from Killjoy towards the B site. A lopsided defense looking to be impactful here. We'll see how TSM play this one out.
Relics posturing aggressively. Oh my gosh, they have two of them on the other side of the smoke. It's a bloody firing squad. Shinobi gets 3 as the IGL for Cloud9 continues to keep TSM at bay. TenZ does it as well. A complete disaster for TSM. They're just down to Cutler. He's got the ult, but he doesn't have a whole lot else to work with as Cloud9 continue to push the pace. TSM look entirely lost right now.
Yeah, I have a feeling that maybe throughout the entirety of the broadcast, the chat might be, I don't read chat when I cast, but I have a feeling they may be a little, like, I've got a lot of crazy references, okay? They're a little spicy, they're a little out there. Cloud9 look like,
references.
Yes, Cloud9 look like they're playing Among Us. That engagement there, right in that choke point towards the A site, they took the 50. Shinobi's like, I'm gonna play off to the side. Relics, you plant yourself down like a juicy little crewmate. Wait for the imposter to come in and snatch you up. TSM run in, double impostered up on a Thursday afternoon. They push forward. They try to, like, oh yeah, Relics, easy frag. Yeah, Shinobi's waiting on the opposite side. It was a bait. It was the plan all along. Very well executed for Cloud9. They played TSM's utility to a T.
Look, so here's the thing. We've mentioned this before. Defender side, TSM has things to work with in the next round, here in the next half. Here's the problem, however, is if you're TSM, you can have all of the utility, all of the tools at your disposal in the world, but if you go into the second half so far down that you lose the coin flip pistol, and conventional wisdom says you lose the next one as well, there's no amount of utility that can save you from that. Shinobi is able to take care of Hazed early on. TSM once again at a numbers disadvantage.
Great control there from Relics up above from heaven. Now Shinobi actually pushing forward right in the sight line of the crossfire. An opportunity here for TSM, but unfortunately Sabrosa caught in a little bit of a difficult spot. The red carpet rolled out, but nobody's starting to walk it. Wardell peeks on in. Guess who's on the other side? It's Cloud9. Down to Drones, headshots, disconnect, down to the 1v3. Finds the second, finds the third! Are you kidding me? Down to the 1v1, coming in from behind. It's Relics playing the tower. Spike is taking Drone. Slows things down. Guess what? Aftershock surprise. Now he's playing behind the map. Shots good! Drone with the flop! And TSM win a round.
There's no analysis to that. He just pew-pewed freaking all across Cloud9 in that. That's just insane. For him to be able to pull that off that way was so huge. The problem for TSM is that they're still looking down 8 rounds of a deficit here. We talked about how they needed to keep it interesting at half. You mentioned 8-4, 9-3 a couple of rounds ago. That's still possible, but they can't drop anything else here. And if it takes a 4K heroic round from a member of TSM just to get 1 round on the board, what does that say about how strong and Cloud9 look?
Cloud9 have been looking very strong on Ascent, very strong on Split. One of those maps has to be banned in series to come against them. Wardell finds an early pick onto Shinobi. The paint shells are definitely going to cause a little bit of a problem, but the toxic screen is going to cause an even bigger problem for Relics as he can't land the showstopper. It does connect and injure a couple of members, but not enough to find the pick. The 4v5. TSM with a man advantage locked down as well here. Or Cutler, as Sabrosa will catch Relics with his open arms. The 5v3 with Cloud9 up against the ropes. The opportunity here for the 9-3 as TenZ will heal up. And now the retake here for Cloud9 pushing back into this A site.
Toxin screen down.
Hazed is still alive, so you have to keep all of that utility in mind. Wardell once again, who will guard the Guardians as he does it again. TenZ is going to use that Empress as you hear the Rolling Thunder has been used as well. Tens, the last one in a 1v4, is able to get one, gonna get flashed up, and he's gonna get taken out. TSM put up another round on the board.
9-3
in the
is a possibility here for TSM, and it all boils down to this round. Cloud9 have had credits to spend for the entirety of this half, but this would be the statement piece that they need. They could cushion themselves with a loss on the pistol and still have rounds, well, not many rounds, but rounds to sacrifice if that it ends up being the case. Cloud9 on the attack will have to obviously make ends meet with the composition that they have, and for TSM, it should bode a little bit better for them, but it will hinge on the pistol nevertheless. Now looking at TSM, going to be hitting this B site, but guess what? On the opposite side are 4 members strong, with Mitch all on his lonesome with Killjoy utility. This is about to be something.
You hear the From the Shadows has been used to try to get some information. He's going to pop himself right back. Tens holding this tight angle. Oh my gosh! Oh, Tens! Tens is able to get 2. Drone is able to trade him out as he gets the second one, but Shinobi does it! The IGL for Cloud9 rips apart TSM. Cloud9 with a statement first half.
Switching sides.
10-2 is ultimately what Cloud9 could have asked for and more. TSM wanted to inch closer to that 8-4, wanted to inch closer to that 9-3, but it was not in the cards. The B side hit. They should have stuck to the A side hit, which was working out a lot more often than not. B side was just very well read there from Cloud9. The 4 stack anticipating potentially a little bit of a switch up, considering the A side was hit continuously by TSM round after round after round. And so for Cloud9 to call that good heads-up play, good read there on the tempo, the feel of the half. Moving on to the second, TSM really hinge on this pistol, an important pistol for them to win. Looking at setups towards the center, Cloud9 are stacking towards this garage side.
The thing is, these pistol rounds have been so electric between these two teams that you feel the weight of being down 10-2 so much more going into the second half. You lose this, you're probably going to lose the next one, and all of a sudden you find yourself on match point. So TSM have to figure something out here. Cloud9 sitting very comfortably.
Trade in the middle as TSM fight for that control. Wardell and Drone waiting on the opposite side, and that is one scary combination you do not want to mess with. A flash and a bloodthirsty Wardell on the opposite side is not someone that you want to cross paths with. Now Relics and company. Relics playing the information game, looking to try to pull TSM away from their comfort zone. Wardell on the opposite side will be right where he needs to be for Cloud9 to hit this B side. Remember, this pistol, very volatile, but Cloud9 and TSM are playing this like it's any other round.
No way. Alright, here's Wardell. Has spotted 3. He got tagged up a little bit, but the Smokes are going to try to create some space. Mitch takes him out with the Frenzy yet again. Hayes gets 2 of his own, looking for the 3rd. Give it to him, baby! TSM wins the pistol.
A pistol they needed to win. Now they'll find themselves at 10-3, potentially 10-4 if Cloud9 doesn't force up and really cause the pain for TSM. But they're thinking about it. They thought about it. They're playing with our hearts. They're playing with our emotions. Roller Coaster Tycoon booted up on the other monitor as I'm feeling a whole slew of things. It's just Tens that locks in the Bulldog. We'll see if that ends up being the long-term play. TSM likely going to be put up at 10-4 here. If not, things are not going to pan out well for the rest of the half.
Cloud9 have done what they can to tip a situation that should not go their way a bit more in their favor with that Bulldog. As they work their way towards A, they're going to be met with a good bit of Killjoy utility and 2 members of TSM to boot. There's the Reign of Blind starting to funnel in. Cutler's going to be there. Oh my gosh, Cutler gets a Glad. He's looking for a 30. He's going to get flashed up towards the backup. But somehow stays alive! How does he do that? Cloud9's just down to 1 member left. The Bulldog did not bite. TSM takes care of Cloud9.
Yeah, now that 3rd round economy is going to be a little shot here for Cloud9. TSM hold on to that site, and chat is holding on to their hats here. TSM have managed to make this half really work for them as it's starting to unfold before our very eyes. I told you the defensive side for TSM is going to really start to light up. They've got a lot of good control on that TSM roster. The Omen, the Breach, the Killjoy, the Viper. They can deny vision. They can deny a whole slew of things for this eager Cloud9 roster to move on to the grand finals, but TSM want it just as bad. See how this round unfolds as Cloud9 are on their first gun round of the half.
Slow early start. Yet again, no presence mid. No attempt to try to establish control or get information. Just playing this one out slow early on. Oh my gosh, what a big pick. Wardell with the op is taken out.
Alex actually going to continue that fire.
No
He's still alive, though. He's going to try to escape. There isn't a lot of presence towards the middle. Oh, psych. Yeah, there is. Sabrosa going to be trying to cut off the rotation towards the B side, but little does he know they've already committed relics. He's going to be playing this late push in towards heaven. If Cloud9 can push quick, hit fast, then FaZe is going to have to re-rotate over. Sabrosa will at least find one. That's the spike down. FaZe is going to be able to stop relics from pushing forward. So far, it's still the advantage for Cloud9. The op in the hands up above. Cutler just trying to get an angle, but the spike is about to be planted. Going to use the nano
30 seconds
try
left.
to deny it. Vice is still going to plant it, still going to commit it and survive. Now the retake here for TSM.
Sabrosa had a good flank there. He was behind all of them, was able to get one, but then the rest of the flank fell apart. Cloud9 was able to take care of him and get onto the site. They have the numbers advantage. Mitch looks like he's going to get a chance here onto two members of Team Solo mid. Cutler and Drone slowly working their way around that corner. Mitch not even able to get one. Cutler's able to take him out. It's going to knock things up at a 2v2. Drone flashing his way onto the site, but Tens is there and Vice follows up. 11-4, Cloud9.
Beautiful crossfire setup. They set up on both sides of the tower there. If one falls, the other swings, but neither do. TSM not feeling too bad in terms of the economy. It's likely going to be a little bit of a rougher buy across the board for some of the players. Wardell has, well, I was about to say he has the Blaze Storm, but he doesn't, so he's just going to opt in for the Sheriff. Still going to be crispy with it nonetheless, but I'd imagine FaZe could buy for him. Yep, that's the Vandal that comes through. FaZe is going to have to suffer, but that's okay. Your star player has the weapons necessary. But you highlighted that this map hasn't really been the best for Wardell. Hasn't really started to shine like we normally see him do. This would be the half where he would, and he's got the Vandal in his hands. Paid for by FaZe. See if that ends up coming into use.
Good guy FaZe. Spotting Wardell a couple bucks to get some artillery. Cloud9 looking like they want to play over towards B. The problem is TSM has nobody there, Simo. So if Cloud9 decide to finish going that way, they're going to have to fight for the retake. There's going to be some fire coming in from heaven, but they can smoke that off. Or they can pull all of the resources from TSM over towards B and then quietly rotate their way back towards A. Wardell, however, was watching that choke point right in the middle, and now he's rotating off as well. Oh boy.
Fire shots from 10. Headshot's gonna send him. Goodnight, Wardell with 2 turns. Gonna be the third one. Can he find the fourth? That's Mitch just trying to escape. Nano Swarm will be taken care of as well. Vice already on the site, but the man advantage is extreme
30 seconds
here
left.
for TSM as Wardell has managed to find himself a huge opportunity.
What?
Vice just lining up the shot. He's buying time for his team. FaZe just waiting. Vice has found himself in a very precarious situation, but Sabrosa waiting with the paranoia. Vice better be careful here. Shot's gonna be good. The paranoia comes through, and now Sabrosa has to be careful. There's somebody
10
on the
seconds
site. Cloud9 have played this well now, but Sabrosa plays it better. Shot's gonna connect. Less than 5 seconds left to plant. They're gonna commit to it. They're gonna try to push forward. We're now seeing the push in from Cutler, and he takes Cloud9 down, bringing us 11-5.
The patience there was huge onto FaZe as he was just sitting there like a freaking dead man walking. The reticle was on his head the entire time, and the trigger discipline required there is just so impressive because he knows as soon as that bullet goes off, they know exactly where he is. And the ruse is up, right? He's been exposed. He's been found out. So was able to sit on it long enough. And it was actually the paranoia out of Sabrosa that forced him back just a little bit after that initial kill came through. So TSM able to rob that round away from Cloud9. They had a couple of early losses, unfortunately, at the hands of Wardell, but it still went down to the wire.
considering CLOUD9 have won the first half 10-2. I say won, but have cleaned up the first half 10-2. Honestly, this becomes now a battle of attrition. How fast can TSM catch up versus how fast can CLOUD9 close out the map? So far, TSM have been doing a phenomenal job of catching up, and considering CLOUD9 is on the pistol, likely another round in the pocket here for TSM. The next gun round that comes in for CLOUD9, if they're able to bring it to match point and series point, it's going to be a little scary here for TSM. So they have to make sure that they lay on the hurt this time and they don't lose any weapons. That's probably key. It already starts off quite well. They might lose one here, but the road to survive.
Somehow survives and somehow doesn't get a kill. I thought for sure Relics was going to get it. There's the 2. He is able to get 1.
30 seconds left.
Wardell swings. Wardell not able to land the shots. He's going to opt for the classic. Backs off as he reloads. He's going to go aggressive under Relics. He's able to take him out. Vice swinging with the Sheriff. Wardell gets the best of him. A 3K for him. TSM inch closer and closer. But now, a gun round for CLOUD9. Now, CLOUD9 have to close the door on TSM.
There are a couple of gun rounds left, but of course CLOUD9, once they bring it to that 12th round, they can force overtime, and for TSM, they don't even want to get there. They would perfect scenario for TSM is they just win 5 in a row. We're tied up 11-11. CLOUD9 get a little desperate, trying to close out the map, and TSM sit nice and pretty and wait for CLOUD9 to fall into that trap. But CLOUD9, they've had a lot of rounds to bleed, but now it is time to get to business to shut the door, like you said, on TSM. 3 ultimates available, the Empress from the Shadows and the Rolling Thunder. On the opposite side, TSM have their trademarked Bladestorm alongside a Lockdown and from the Shadows as well. So utility there to gather information. The Lockdown can help deny the push in a late round scenario. Like if CLOUD9 hit B, but then decide that they want to funnel back to A, and Cutler really wants to commit to winning the round, he can drop that Lockdown and say, no, you're not coming to A. Like stay away. You go back to B. I don't want you here. I don't want you on this A side. So we'll see, of course, how that plays out. But these ultimates might be used to commit wins on this round, because this is an important one coming up.
It is indeed. Tens did not have full armor. That's the only weakness, if you will, as far as what was purchased on the side of CLOUD9. The utility from Viper is going to buy some time. And the rest of the utility from Killjoy is, I mean, almost effectively locking down B.
There's a little Killjoy utility as well to make this a very difficult site to push into, right? You've got the combination of the Viper and the Killjoy. CLOUD9 push in, they're going to get dangerously low trying to fight A's there on the site. And of course, Cutler from range can activate those nano swarms regardless of the distance, so that can be a huge problem. But CLOUD9 back away, looking now to Relics, who's honestly gathered a lot of space for CLOUD9. Not really a whole lot, but little does he know, the A site is relatively open. Sabrosa will have to pay attention to him if there's any late round theatrics, because he's usually the one to catch CLOUD9 off guard in his positioning as he tries to wrap around.
30 seconds left.
All right, the lockdown is going to be used from Mitch on the B site. Lead them to think that that's where the play is going to be, but Simo, you talked about Sabrosa. Keep an eye on Sabrosa. He's going to be working his way through sewers. As the rest of CLOUD9 work their way onto that A site, that flank could prove to be disastrous. The Shinobi goes aggressive, he's able to take care of Wardell, and
left.
Hayes Cutler drops as well. Now Sabrosa joins the party, but it might be too little, too late as CLOUD9 continue to push the situation.
Yeah, they've got a lockdown here as well. So Sabrosa and Drone really bringing on the hurt. No players have been detained there from the lockdown from Cutler. Now it's down to the 1v2. Shot's going to be good. Now it's just down to the 1v1. Drone is injured. If Mitch can just perfectly play this out, buy some time. The plant is perfect. The Nano Swarm, he can't really opt in to fight it. I think there may be another Nano Swarm in the tank. We're about to find out.
No way.
That's it. That's the jump peek. There's the defuse. Mitch now trying to play it. Shot's going to be good. There's not really a whole lot Drone can do in that scenario. There's not a lot. He has to defuse. It favors Mitch in that 1v1 because he has the cover. He can just keep bobbing in and out. And the pressure's on TSM to defuse. So now CLOUD9, 12-6. TSM need to win 6 in a row. And that is a tall task ahead. If they can do it, I'm just going to go ahead and say that they're the greatest team in North America. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. I'm just gonna.
And Simo, that's the thing. They've got to win 6 rounds just to get to overtime, right? Like they aren't out of the woodworks to 6 rounds. Although Herculean already don't guarantee him the win. So Cloud9 sitting comfortable here. If you're Cloud9, you don't got to do anything crazy. You don't got to like go absolutely bonkers and panic. Just take it 1 gun round at a time. You know that you have the advantage. You have TSM on their back foot. Just put them away. Obviously, much easier said than done. yes.
Poison's off.
Looking at this round, though, some of that Killjoy utility has been swapped over towards the A site. And FaZe still all alone because consistently Wardell and Sabrosa have been gathering a lot of space for TSM. Gathering information, no one's in the courtyard. If they want to split off, they can. Maybe a Ramen play, maybe a Sewers play. But they back away. They go back towards Heaven. They give FaZe a little bit more comfort knowing that he's got relative support from the roster of TSM. As Sabrosa now starts to rotate over towards the A site, and they see a smoke towards the A site. Sabrosa's just waiting. He's buying time. He's waiting for the... He actually teleports, I think, towards the garage, and he gathers the information that is necessary to say, okay, Cloud9 were there. I got a lot of information.
30 seconds left.
Remember, the Rolling Thunder is available for Cloud9 as he looks to push things up towards Heaven. There was a Paranoia as well to try to help add some cross cover, but the Viper Spit is going to come down in response. Wardell's able to get 2 as Bison Relics are taken out. FaZe playing in his ultimate, but Tens and Mitch join the party. FaZe gets another one as he tries to keep TSM alive, but Cloud9 with 6 seconds left. It doesn't look like they're going to get the spike down. TSM look like they're going to rob this round from Cloud9.
Very well done there from TSM. The Viper Spit definitely helped out, but I think one of the most important things to note is the presence of mind, the killer instinct from Wardell. You know what he did there? Down underneath the ropes. You know what he did? He put up a one-way, so when they drop down, he sees their toesies, and he can just spray for good luck and finds a beautiful double piece onto Cloud9. If Wardell dies there, that's it. Series done. Cloud9 move on to the grand finals. There's no way you're coming back from that. But very well done from Wardell. He gives his team some space as they start to funnel in to help defend the push from the garage side as well. And Cloud9 are stuck salvaging the weapons for the round, and only Shinobi gets one moving into the next.
Now remember, Cloud9 still has the Rolling Thunder, one of the best ultimates in the game when it comes to giving yourself access onto a site. So with a heavy set piece, they're going to be able to get on there and likely going to be able to get the spike down as well, but they have not availed themselves of that resource quite yet. Cloud9 looking to establish mid control. Not something we've seen a ton of, and TSM just backs right off.
Cover going out.
TSM back away. Economy not the greatest here for Cloud9, so anticipating a 12-8 scoreline after this one. But we've seen some thrifty heroics, not only today, over the course of the entire open qualifier here at the First Strike Nursery Gamers Open Qualifier. Cloud9 playing how split is intended, pushing up the middle and then splitting off either way. They look towards the Heaven side, but back away after they see FaZe now trying to escape. 30 seconds left on the clock, Doug. This is going to be a fast hit towards the B side, but I don't think they'll get very far.
No, the smoke was there. FaZe is backed off. There's the Rolling Thunder that we talked about, but it was actually from the side of TSM to delay the push from Cloud9. They've managed to get onto the site. FaZe on the other side of the smoke, but he gets punished. TSM's just down to 2 members left. Cloud9 managed to get the spike down. Sabrosa, however, stops one, and they stop the other as well. TSM managed to pull that thing off. It was not a guaranteed thing, even knowing Cloud9's gun situation, but TSM managed to pull it off and extend the map.
Still very expensive for TSM. They will have credits to play with, but not the most ideal scenario. They are really fighting an uphill battle here, and every gun that they lose, considering the 3,000 credits that have been popping into their pocket for the past 5 rounds, they really need a little bit more security in the rounds that they win, because you're seeing here, FaZe is down to 0, Cutler's down to 1,600, Sabros is down to 1,100. Yeah, they're making bank, but Cloud9's right at their heels, trying to chip away, trying to make it expensive. And that's all that they can do, considering this attack very difficult for Cloud9, as we've seen for this half.
The ultimates still in the back pocket of Cloud9. They now have 3 that they've amassed as they look to put TSM away. Oh, they're going to get onto the site, but Vice was able to get the first. Wardell taken out. Cloud9, they should be able to get onto A.
But there's the clutch factor. He's waiting in the corner. He's flashing. He's holding on. They flash once. Will they flash again? Empress is from pop. Ken's pushing forward. They need to get rid of the clutcher as he's waiting in the corner. Blinds 2. That's big. Drone will help out from the side. And now it's the 2v2 as Mitch will dispatch the down to Hayes, down to Drone, just down to Hayes. And he's late to the party, but better late than never. It's down to him in a 1v2. Spike about to be planted for Cloud9. This could be series point, map point. Spike down, and now it's all down to Hayes in a 1v2 scenario. Can he bring this around?
Oh, there's the lockdown as well to buy some time and to force Hayes around. You've got at least 6 more seconds that you're going to work with because you know he can't push into that. But he's got to go here.
Player remaining.
Oh, 1v1. Doable. That's what they get relics. Showstopper as well. Waiting for somebody to peek out. A bazooka in his hand. Guess who's there on the opposite side? But it whips. Now it's down to the 1v1. He's just trying to run. He's just trying to hide. But you can't run from Hayes. TSM. Stay alive.
I can't freaking believe what I just saw. He did it with 4 health. 4 health. TSM refusing to go away.
Oh boy. Oh boy, Hayes. Your stats have not been looking good this tournament. Across his entire team, the lowest in KD, the lowest in kills per round, the lowest in first kills per round, the lowest in clutch scenarios. And yet here we are. The clutch that matters the most. Hayes brings his team to the fold, and now Cloud9 are looking at a very scary scenario. TSM likely going to enter double digits here as we could approach overtime.
Simo, I don't know that my heart can handle another overtime. This thing's just been out of control. But TSM, again, bend but don't break. Fighting in the face of adversity, refusing to go down. They were... Think about the first half. Think about how dominant Cloud9 looked. For us to be here, it's like what we saw in Vine, but worse.
Oh, that's a little unfortunate, but unfortunate for TenZ. Wardell with the quick reaction times proves that the Jet is mightier than the Reyna. Now they're still looking to push in. Wardell with a perfect position here, trying to back away, puts himself in a little bit more of a better crosshair placement, but Mitch will dispatch of him with the stinger, sorry. Couple of upgrades now, 4v4, pushing onto the site. Loss here for TSM would be deadly. Hayes gets sprayed with the flash in the eyes of Mitch. Now as Mitch comes down, guess who's there? Guess who's waiting? It's Sabrosa, but he still falls. The spike is down, a 2v2, Cloud9 up against TSM. Now the spike's been planted, 14 seconds left on the clock. Aftershock stops the plant, and it takes relics to boot. Now all they need to do is swing, but Shinobi clears the wrong angle. TSM once again stay alive.
All right, now the thing about that was Cloud9 had they had stingers, they had a weird mixed bag. This is and it doesn't look good for TenZ, but this is the last gun round. This is Cloud9's last chance. They've been sitting on that Rolling Thunder for what seems like 26 years. Surely this is where they use it. TenZ is going to have a sheriff. Relics is going to go all the way with full armor. Ladies and gentlemen, if Cloud9 doesn't do it here, we're likely going to overtime.
Oh, Hayes, you saw someone. Someone's there. Someone's there. It's TenZ. Hayes going to take him out. Going to find Mitch to boot. Hayes is unlocked as he finds 2 picks, retreats back to the safety of his team in Cloud9. Likely staring down a very tough position. They've obviously, like you highlighted, a lot of weapons online here. They don't want to let this one slip away, but it's not looking good for them right now as TSM like you said, could push us to overtime. All they need to do is close this one out and the one that follows, but Cloud9 don't have the economy for the round that follows. TSM need to nip it in the bud here today.
The spike just now starting to work its way up mid. There's utility for days out of TSM on the A site. Certainly not
to my world.
a welcome situation. And then there's the Viper's Pit on the other side. Cloud9 not with a ton of options. Not much to work with
30
here.
seconds left.
Relix trying to work his way onto the site. With just 3 members left, Drone is able to take him out. Hayes is still going to be on the opposite side. TSM mows down Cloud9. And here we go to that broken round for Cloud9 as we inch closer and closer to the most impossible of circumstances. After being down 10-2 at half, we're looking at overtime.
Listen, it's a defender-sided map. Both teams are looking at a 10-2 half. And Cloud9, yeah, some of the assault rifles are in the hands of the players that you want it most. I'd imagine maybe you want to swap Shinobi off the Phantom, give him the Stinger, have Relix frag out. He's almost on the 20 bomb. But they may be looking for an upgrade. They may be looking for the showstopper. I haven't had a look at whether or not Relix is close enough to it. Cloud9, they've brought these rounds close. TSM, all they need to do is play how they've been playing because it's been working.
A little bit of utility out of Cloud9 to ensure that there's no flank coming in from Hayes on B like we have seen in the past. That means, ladies and gentlemen, the determining site on whether or not we go to overtime will likely be A. Here's the Rolling Thunder that we've talked about time and time again. There's going to be utility from Killjoy for days, but here we go.
I need to point something out real quick before we hit the site A hit.
Do it quickly, man.
Cloud9 went for both ult orbs for Mitch. They have the lockdown. They're ready to use it. Guess what? There's no Hunter's Fury to stop it. They're looking to try to maybe bait them out, maybe look for a little bit of a different look towards the A side, but this lockdown, at least temporarily, is
30
working.
seconds left.
They don't have a sight line into heaven. They don't know if they're on the site. They have to guess. And guess what happens when you guess? You don't know. You have no idea. Cloud9 have rotated towards the B site. They have found Sabrosa. They've broken on. The spike will be planted. TSM now in a late round retake.
And here's
Spike planted.
freaking use the Rolling Thunder, man! I've been setting you up for the last 5 rounds. They've managed to get onto the site. They've managed to get the spike down.
You should run.
It's going to be there on the flank, but they're going to be met with an opposing lockdown. That's going to force them off of the site. TSM patiently Relix is able to get one with the Stinger. There's the Rolling Thunder. It's going to be traded back as both teams avail themselves of that. TSM just down to 3 members left as they fight to get to overtime, but the guns from Cloud9 may be too much. As TSM just down to 2 members left, Relix gets onto the site, and ladies and gentlemen, Cloud9 do it again! The 3rd best of 3 in a row against TSM, and they best Team Solo Mid.
How did it get to that point? How? How did it get to that point? Cloud9, 10-2 half, then they try to crawl their way through inch to match point, inch to series point, and an incredible